Now listening to The Joint Committee.
What is going on out there, stoners? Welcome to the Joint Committee Sessions. My name is Lupino, along with East Coast of them and Mr. Bond 420 International Man of Bubblehead.
What up,
What's happening, man? What's happening? We've been traveling. We've been busy with projects. Everybody's still looking at their phone, typing away, sending emails, sending texts. Dude, it is a busy time. We are busy individuals.
The Wi-Fi is fucking going.
Oh, you have Wi-Fi, hey?
What's on Wi-Fi?
What is Wi-Fi
He
password?
gave me Wi-Fi password.
I love kitty riding.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so what's up, boys?
How much, you?
Oh, man. It's a never-ending thing with me. I always got some shit going on.
Gotta do it. Grinding.
Yeah. So there's a big project in the works, but that's pretty much... Right now, that's all I can say. Big project in the works. Mass wreck. But besides that, business has been pretty good with everything.
Nice, Mr. Clean Roots Inventor, you.
Clean roots, Buddhist tree, everything's been going good.
Those lights did okay.
The GS thermal lights, the liquid cooled lights, did pretty well. I mean, you guys have seen the quality now of the bud.
Yeah.
Some of the
First
bud.
time, too. First time around, so.
Yeah, this is the first
Really nice.
first time. Oh, you guys can look at all that shit.
Vents.
yeah,
Frosty.
Yeah, so I was using the custom spectrums and shit, so I was, winging it really,
Oh.
and everything came
As
out
with
pretty good.
everything.
So, 6 spectrum. That was a 6 spectrum run. Oh, that was the cookie pebbles.
The
Yeah.
Cookie Pebbles.
Infamous.
I think the
Infamous.
Jamba Juice is
Got
just
motherfuckers
killing everything.
hitting you up all over.
Was
this
that
place,
one, just one little plant of that?
What?
Jamba Juice?
No.
No.
I had 2 plants. I mean, everything
Oh.
everything was small, medium plants. Nothing was giant.
Nice.
Um,
I just took down 4 grease monkeys. My wife goes, how many plants does that? It's all hanging there. I'm like, yeah, it's a couple.
nice.
It's funny because she took care of it while I was gone. And, I mean, she just counts. And as long as it isn't the right amount, then I'm good. She doesn't even care about the fucking, how many, like, what's on top of the pot.
Speaking to the light.
I'm speaking to the light, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking to the
I'm
light.
sorry, everybody. I'm
That's
speaking to the
alright.
light.
Don't go to the light. Speak to the light.
I've gone to the light a couple times on DMT, and goddamn, very memorable.
Dude.
watching a bunch of videos about that shit. It's
Dude, we
actually
got
kinda
into
cool.
an alien talk in Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah?
Yo, I thought about They
They see a lot of shit, don't they?
Yo, I was standing on top of this roof for this mansion, and we were outside of the rainforest of Junque, and all of a sudden, yo, you guys ever see? It's they start talking about shadowy individuals and
Oh, yeah.
things flying off, and there's parts of the rainforest. It's supposed to be it's a public it's a state federal
National park,
national park, and you can there's a lot of treasures like that. There's certain areas you just can't go, and
Well, it is
why?
a state, isn't it? Puerto Rico.
No, it's territory.
Yeah,
there's,
territory.
There's 5. Can you name all 5?
Gotcha. No.
Guam,
1,
Puerto Rico.
2.
Oh shit.
Oh, isn't it like those fucking islands out next to Japan that we still
No.
inhabit? Like we have a base there from Hawaii.
What,
and
the
shit.
Solomon Islands?
Something,
No.
yeah.
That's not ours.
I know we still have occupy. Like there's a base there for sure.
No, I don't know. I really know. Is there what Caribbean island?
U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yeah, the U.S. Virgin
Oh, and
Islands.
is it Bahamas or Bermuda?
No.
Or are those both English territories?
I don't know. What
I don't know. Tell us, Lupino.
Cough
American
into
Samoa?
the light.
Okay.
Oh, there you
And
go.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah, D.C. That's right. It's a district.
Those are the 5 territories of the U.S.
Stupid. It's so dumb.
People don't really like this. Yeah, but D.C.
You ever see the shape of D.C.?
And that really is truly the definition of taxation without representation.
Did you know DC weed's legal in DC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what they sold? 1 billion.
Wow.
Last year.
Wow.
$1 billion in
Wow.
DC.
Had
That's
to
coming
be.
from investors' mouths, so I know that shit's true. They fucking, because they're on that shit.
But they inflate. The investors tend to inflate things to like round it. Like,
Yeah, but still-
let's say it's
Even if it's anywhere close to
640,000, right? 640. That means
No,
like
they're
1
not
billion.
No.
Dude, come on.
No, I don't think they would go that much. But
You think they
I
don't,
will
but
say
they do.
this:
It sounds better.
it doesn't even matter because all of DC is federal property.
No, most
So
of
what
it.
do you do?
Most of it. Except for the projects
Like
and like
99.8% of it is federal property.
That's right. Sure enough.
So as soon as you step foot outside, you're like, oh shit.
But just the fact that a place like that sold almost,
Yeah, no, I
maybe
know.
almost a
it's
billion
so
dollars.
small. It's so
Yes.
fucking crazy, dude. It's so crazy.
And it's not like you can really. I never hear of anyone like going to DC for bud. It's not like it's a fucking hot spot you hear about. So
They do. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I asked I was talking to Deep State.
because he lives there though.
Yo, he lives in, so Deep State lives in Washington D.C. And I asked him, I was like, yo, how are the laws in like the surrounding states, Maryland and Virginia? He's like, oh, they're not like friendly at all. It's like,
No.
so that means those people are also going to D.C.
Yeah.
because it's legal, it's rec. I mean, Congress voted that they couldn't, and that's wild because even though they voted it, the territories are ruled by Congress. So no matter who they pick as far as to lead the mayor or governor or whatever,
Yeah.
the Congress come in and say nah. So they voted for a whole bunch of commercial shops, and Congress is like, you can have legal weed, but nah, you can't sell commercial, you can't grow
makes
commercial, none of that shit.
No, it's the biggest.
Well, there's no
slap.
other way to grow, really.
It's the biggest
Huh?
slap in the face. It's the biggest slap in the fucking face. Think about it.
It is.
They
Well, look at the way
voted
it's
for it
shaped.
to be legal in DC.
Yeah, look at the way it's shaped. You ever see how DC is shaped?
Yeah, the Pentagon and all that shit. But
So imagine this goes for
just the
everything.
fact that they voted for weed to be okay there.
It was a slap in the face. It is.
Think about it.
And that's why they said, fuck you guys, now you can't commercial sale.
Because all of them are politicians and big time
Oh, I know. It's
guys.
just that should be the biggest. Hello, everyone, wake the fuck up.
Well, because
They,
some
they
states
took that
are
big
just like,
joint towards
yeah.
Washington, D.C., though. Remember that big inflatable joint? It didn't make it. Secret Service stopped them. I talked to my boy, Phone Homie, and
Rico.
somebody else. And they ended up telling me that they were carrying that big, gigantic inflatable joint to go in front of the White House. And Secret Service stopped them. Said, you guys can go on, but you guys got to leave the joint. So it said, fuck it, let's go. So that's why they were able to, like, smoke in front of the White House like that one day and shit, yo.
Well, I mean,
Can't do that shit now.
you should be able to smoke right there on that park, but
But that's federal land. That's
I
that's
know.
where,
It's
it
so
falls
it's a
under
park. Like, okay, I'm gonna go sit in my car, or I'm
But
gonna
it's
go
not
sit in
state
my
ones, you know?
house.
It's some
It's just
some state
weird.
ones you gotta be careful. Cause
That's the whole thing about, like you said. Think about it. It's a slap in the face. Yeah. If it's legal in fucking the capital of the United States of America, it should be fucking federally legal.
No shit. It's
So,
like
oh goddamn.
like,
it's a joke.
Like I said, 99.8% of fucking all the land over there in DC is fucking federal property, or federally fucking watched.
I like how this Cocoa Lemon looks, bro. This fucking looks crazy.
Yeah, how was that with the
calyx.
when it was wet?
Jesus.
What do you mean? How was it when it was wet?
Like,
It looked just like that.
oh, I know,
There was
Really?
like
What was
no
that,
fan
glass?
leaf.
No way.
real
That's
frosty
wild,
on
dude.
the leaves and stuff.
There was like really no fan leaves, dude.
That's
No, I
Really?
mean like the little ones.
interesting.
It was like
Is
nothing.
it full? Is it
It was
citrusy at all?
crazy.
Or is the lemon is the citrusy?
No,
at
it's
all?
more. It's definitely more of a soft chocolate.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's a all right.
Soft,
So
but with it's got
like-
it almost has a
cocoa
Like
lemon.
light chocolate, like opposite of dark, soft.
yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know. If you
Not
Like push on it and it was melty soft.
no, not melty. Not like not a dark cocoa.
Because I think soft melty chocolate has a different kind of smell. It's
It
like-
does. That's milk chocolate, isn't it?
It's well, no, just when you like any chocolate.
Regular,
right?
like hard, like
even
dark,
dark
chocolate.
chocolate.
Like, pure chocolate doesn't like melt like that
no, I
well,
don't.
no, it
No.
doesn't. But
Well, it depends on the percentage.
because that shit's
Yeah.
on the shelf. Like
It
in a
depends
hot
on the
like
percentage
bodega
of
or something like
cocoa
that. Like
fat.
Cortez,
cocoa
what was that? The
butter.
Cortez chocolate. Like you end up grinding it up,
Yeah, that's for like baking though. You know what I mean? That's for
but that's real chocolate though.
right. I don't like that shit.
Well, dark chocolate
It's
is better for the brain.
Yeah, but it tastes like fucking shit.
So
Yo.
what?
What do you mean? So
You
what?
just
I'm eating
reminded
chocolate
me of
for
something when
enjoyment.
you
No.
said better for the brain. So I watched this thing today, kind of off topic. It was so these fucking goofballs in Japan and in China, were saying that if there's less whales, then there would be more krill and more food, right, up top for us. So over time,
Oh my god.
became there was less krill and less fucking other little marine life up top. And they're trying to figure out why. And the conclusion they came up with, and it's kind of cool, I thought, is the whales feed on that shit, and they feed down deep, and then they come up to the surface. And you ever see a whale shit?
Yeah, they eat whale shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So it shits. It's big. It's a big shit.
Yeah.
Obviously. Well, in that shit contains iron and a couple other minerals that aren't nitrogen that aren't found in the light where the light penetrates in a photosynthesis area, right? So what happened was they were killing the whales. There was less shit, so less minerals in that top area. So even those plant-like microscopic life,
Plankton.
and stuff, they died off because they eat that.
Right.
So in return, killing the whales fucks up
The beginning cycle.
also because those plant-like creatures that take in CO2 from the air up top through the water, there's more CO2 in the air. So it was like a fucking huge chain effect, and I was like, damn, that's fucking nuts. I'm like, motherfucker, like, I don't like when they kill the whales, because I like the whales. There's no need to kill the whales. But now I'm like, don't be fucking killing the whales, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You heard that whole, like, big trash plastic patch in the
Island? There's
like
two
that?
of
It's like the size of Texas.
Yeah. So I ended up seeing, actually, like, they went out to go find one. Like, everybody's talking
They have
about
a thing
I've
to
never
clean-
seen, like, anybody.
An
Nobody's
aerial
ever seen
photo
an image.
of it.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And the
I've
reason
looked.
is it completely makes sense. They went all the way out there, and even the people that, like, the reporters are like, oh my god, we're going out there, we're going to be able to stand on, like, they thought in the what do you call it, the captain's like, it's not what you guys think, and they were going through, like, some rough seas to try to get in, because
Yeah, it's weird where it is.
the way
It's
it
like
collects
this-
is because the ocean end up
Right.
like,
It's all the currents
right.
bring it all together.
So once they're there, right, they end up putting out the net. They don't really see too much like that. Some stuff here and there like that, they put out a net and they drag it. And what it is that after the salt water actually breaks it down, and it basically ends up being like
mush.
a slick.
thin like layer of plastic on top of the water. Like, it obviously if you try to stand on it, just like go through
Right,
like
right,
that.
right,
But
right.
that's what I mean by the size of like Texas. So it's not like you can't see something like
Yeah.
that. Imagine just like all the water, all the waves like that, and it's plastic cover like grandma's fucking couches. That's what they mean by
Well, they
the
had
garbage patch.
some dude fucking. I saw it somewhere on a documentary. He fucking invented something to really help clean that up, and a lot of other shit in the sea.
Oh, that little kid.
Something, yeah. I
Yeah,
just think it was a little kid. Yeah.
So it was like 17 when he like. So it basically ends up being just dragging nets.
Yeah, it's sophisticated. In a way.
Two boat like that.
They leave them for so long, and they stay there.
Then they
and
collect. They
fucking
come back,
collect,
and
it's a little sophisticated. It's pretty cool. I was like,
So they
damn.
just put it like in the way of like the current. That's where they end up putting it. And then
You ever see how they stop fucking speeders now? Like
speed bumps?
high-speed chasers?
Speed bumps?
So they're putting them on cop cars now. It's a net in the front of the car that shoots out on the ground underneath. It's like a thing that shoots out, and it goes next to the back tire, and it goes, and the fucking net grabs onto the tire and just fucking
What?
stops the car. The cop just fucking jacks on the brakes and.
Holy fuck, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
So
it was
it's
badass when I
basically
saw
like-
it. I was like,
Holy
Yes!
shit.
Like you would think like a cartoon has like a gun.
It
and
was
like,
exactly
shoots out
like a
net.
Oh, I
cartoon.
can imagine it
The
already.
same thing,
Yeah.
but just orange straps, and ends up basically like tire spinning, just
Who
shoots
stole
at the
my
tire,
lighter?
just
You have two
automatically
blue
like
lighters?
just gonna lock
You
that
do,
thing
you
right
do.
up.
That's
That's
crazy.
it.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
No fuss, no muss.
Yeah, really safe. Dude,
That was-
it was really safe.
I was
the
like,
car
goddamn!
couldn't
I was
do
like, you
anything.
can't
I
even
mean,
tell
it
them. It was
could've
like, yo,
ripped
they
the
destroyed
fucking
the
axle if
cop
you go
car,
fast
they
enough, I
destroyed
guess,
this. You
but-
can't even say that anymore. They stopped the like. If anything, they just fucked up that wheel well if somebody was running anyway.
Right.
Like, but just the wheel, it wasn't a crash. He didn't go into the other side
Yeah,
of
it was,
traffic.
It's probably a stolen car, anyways.
Well,
you
right.
know?
The insurance will fix it, or you know, fucking
That's
smash
awesome.
it. Yeah, it was pretty sick. I was laughing my ass off when I saw it.
Damn.
Yeah, I saw some more fires too while I was out in California.
Yeah,
that was
seen
ridiculous.
This is crazy.
Is it
This
close?
one's the biggest one, I guess, since
Is it
last
close to
year.
them again? Is it close to the boys?
I mean, the wind ain't coming their way.
Can't that change at any moment?
Well, I guess it's the wind, sure, but not this time of year. The wind goes the other way, but that's why it's so big, because everything where the two started, one was like directly south of the other one by like, I don't know.
And
whatever.
they arrested a
Never
guy
mind.
who started this one.
I don't know about it.
Yeah, they arrested some guy.
I bet. Well, the one in Reading, I think they call it a car fire. It was some fucking goofball driving down the road on a flat tire, and fucking next thing you know, just rim, just spitting sparks out all the way down the highway. Fucking.
Dang.
Holy fuck.
Well, just one of them, the one that's next to them, that started
man,
next
why
to
don't
them
you,
in
like,
Hopland.
you know, highway fucking DOT, get on that shit, fucking mow that grass.
Well, this is
What
the thing. I see. I hear the guy.
Like, I would strip like everything around like the streets, like
Dude,
at
have you
least
ever
like
been to
100
Cali?
They
yards.
used to. They used to. That's the thing. The fucking one of the chiefs or whoever Cal Fire guy that was on the news said that they haven't been doing controlled burns for like the past 8 years.
Jesus.
So some of that stuff up in there is decades old. That hasn't ever burned for decades,
Oh man.
and that's all what's burning. Just one of
But
them is
what's
like
the deal? Why the hell are they-
287,000
Anybody
acres.
have any questions? I mean, any answers?
And
as
that's
to
the one
who
we
stopped
drove
this
right
to
through
fly?
it, bro. Right through it. Like, snuck right through, right before they closed Highway 20 down. I was like, wow. And it looked like fucking End of Days. Like, Book of Eli. How it was like yellowy, reddish, fucking weird looking.
You talking about this time?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Right through it. All of a sudden, I see up ahead, Highway 20 kind of flattens out. I could see a bunch of fucking cops on the side, one water truck and a fire truck. As we're getting closer, I look through into the field, and I look up and I see like 6 or 7 more fire trucks with fucking mad hoses coming out of them. About, I don't know, 30, 40 guys standing there next to this. And they're probably like, I don't know, 40 feet away maybe. This raging fucking inferno, 80-foot trees just right in this guy's driveway, and it was just, and then right on the side of it, fucking cow pasture pen with the gates closed and the cows just head down. And I'm like, wow, should we stop and open that gate, dog? Like, what the fuck? It's fucked up.
It's about to be some charred beef.
Oh man, it's so crazy to see, and I just feel bad for the people that are in the way of it. I mean, I don't like to say luckily, because we all say luckily, but there's not too many people up where it's burning. Like, there's houses up there, but it's not like towns. I mean, it did get close to, I guess, Kelseyville or something, like, which is right north of Middletown, which is the town the year before last that totally
Is
burnt
Middletown
down.
in the middle?
I don't know.
It usually
mean-
is in like states that you
I
call
mean,
Middletown.
it's not in the middle of California, but it's in the middle of like a certain area, I guess. But either way, that whole town 2 years ago burnt. The whole town gone, just like most of Santa Rosa last year,
Yeah.
and
It's like-
Potter Valley. Most of Potter Valley burnt last year too.
That's what like You know what Puerto Rico looks like now? Everything's green. Everything's back. The power's back. Everything like that.
Yeah.
It looks like all the trees got topped.
Yeah.
The middle and the bottom came in, just like it normally would. So it ends up being one of those 20-year storms. It's just like a shitty electrical grid, like here. Like a rainstorm or a snowstorm will take our shit out. Just as that, except they don't have the budget for to keep maintaining it like we do here.
For my first time.
I seen all the fucking red towns too.
Yeah.
That shit is wild.
That stuff that does help though, man. Fucking makes the fucking fire just stop right there, pretty much. It's crazy, that shit. Daniel.
Now
he's
let
like-
me ask you
he's
something.
like-
Actually,
Hey, Daniel goes, hey, he's like, you want to go up to the fucking Count Mountain, check out the view and see like what it's doing and shit. And I'm like, a part of me wanted to, and then the other part of me was like, you know what, dog, I'm good. Not that I don't care. I just don't want to see it. I feel bad for the people that are affected and in front and in the way. Let's go back to the house. I got some work to do. And he looked at me and he's like, I respect it.
So, like, what do they do, like, for any crops that have been, like, ash over?
Who? What do you mean they?
Anybody. What do you
like
hear?
the people
Who
that
like,
lost it?
Not lost it, but, like, you know, you don't have to, you know, your shit doesn't have to catch on fire to, like, you know, you could end up getting, like, ash and soot on top of it.
We got ash last year. Pretty good, actually.
What do you guys do to, like, kind of, like, you know?
Just blew most of it off. It
Like a
wasn't
leaf blower or some
It
shit?
wasn't like dusted. You know what I mean? It's just little pieces of, you know, it sucks because it's who knows what. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
But we tested a bunch of stuff and a bunch of hash, and it all tested good. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like, you know, this. It was like,
I get you.
you know what I mean? Like maybe that. Like
Yeah.
here and there.
But even still, now they're starting to too. Some places, like, you know, the whole parts per million shit too when it comes to our.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was a good time though.
And every state's got a different attitude. How, you know?
Went to a gold mine.
Why?
Like a legit fucking gold mine. Like a legit gold mine. It was trippy, bro. It's like 700 acres of just like standing on top of quartz tailings from the 1840s, and probably a little earlier they did some stuff, but not like they did in the 1840s when they used the fucking water and splashed it all up on the mountain and pulled the mountains down and fucking sluiced it into their boxes. But what happened was all that water was a shit ton of water after a while. Downstream and downhill in the towns, shit was getting plugged up and backed up, and fucking they were getting floods, and so they banned it. Now all you can do is
Panhandle.
pretty much. Well, you can use a metal.
You know how you make
detector
money
and
off
shit.
of that? You sell the pans.
Yeah,
Money all day.
Oh, that's the old saying: is who made money during the gold rush? The people selling the tools.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, some people struck it rich with gold, but
Yeah, very few.
no.
Like,
I mean, there was a lot of good. There's a lot of dude. I laugh.
People
like,
become rich
I
nowadays
saw some
for
gold,
some of
bro.
the, like, the dumbest
like
reasons.
real
I don't.
nice gold.
They
You
really,
saw the
really
picture.
shouldn't
Did you
have
see
that
the
fucking
picture?
kind of money.
That was like half of what they found in 4 hours. I was like, wow, this is fucking wild. I can't wait to get my own fucking metal detector. So I started looking. The one that the other guy, the owner, was using, $8,000. I was like, oh damn, that's a lot of money.
A couple nuggets.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's fucked up. And then so obviously I've been always looking for land out there
Yeah.
forever. Now with the fires and shit, I'm like, I think I'm gonna
But
look
even
next
still,
to this gold
no,
mine.
but even still,
In the
but
gold
why?
belt.
If you're talking about, like, what I'm thinking about as far as to open up something dealing with the cannabis industry, why even thinking about going out west? How it's all super like over flooded. Why wouldn't you think about the east and the green rush now happening over here?
Well, I'm not thinking about cannabis. I was thinking about, well, number one, the land is worth what the land is worth, let alone what you can go find on it.
Yeah.
Because there's not just gold. There are diamonds, there's platinum, there's emeralds, there's
Too
fucking...
much. It's all fine and
It's
dandy,
not.
but it's a lot of processing, a lot of money you end up putting into it, and at the end of the day, you end up earning
I saw
a
I
good
saw
salary that
6
lasts you a long time, but it doesn't like.
6 acres, I think it was, just about 6 acres.
I need
for
that stream.
$64,000.
Not little stream.
And there was already a little road, and it's right in that fucking whole area. It's south of where I was, from his gold mine, so it's the same mountain ridge. And there's gold. There's a lot of gold left. Trust me. From what dude, when we were leaving, they were still in this one little spot. I watched the vein that we found. It was started like down on this little like rock pit hole where there was bedrock, and then he had somebody push like maybe a foot and a half of overburden up into a pile. And the two old guys walked around and they fucking checked in that pile, found a couple little nuggets, and then they were right on bedrock again, and they started hitting these spots, and after a while there was like 4 or 5 holes in this straight line of this fucking rock that came out of the ground like this, and I'm just standing there watching like, wow. And once they get a beep, it's not that hard to get at it. It's scratch, scratch, scratch. Get a pile in your thing and go over the beep, beep, beep. If it's in there, it's in there. You hear it, and then you just start fucking looking for it. No, oh, beep, beep. It's still in the thing. Okay. Oh, it's in my hand. Fucking, double check just in case. Could be 2 pieces. And those old men was so fucking quick at it. Little digging pickaxe, and next thing you know, the water bottle they had. I mean, it was,
Yeah, but how lucrative is something like that? I mean,
well, they
doing it all the
buddy
time,
bought
just-
that land for a good amount of money, but it's worth, like, historically.
yeah, but you gotta
it's
work
worth
it. You gotta
more
do.
money.
You gotta process.
No,
that.
it's
All
not
this shit's
even
gotta
like-
hold. You
it's
can't
not-
like go sell
you
gold
can't-
nuggets to like a jewelry shop.
Yes, you can.
Just go. Here you go. Like go to like
100%,
Jared's, and
especially
like,
in that area.
so you can go to Jared.
Well, it's whatever out there. There's a shit ton of them. There's guys that'll come to you.
Come to the wife
If
and
you
be
have,
like,
like,
he went to
specimens and
Jared
shit.
with a big old rock.
Because that shit you don't melt down like shit. That's
Yeah,
all
you can end
weird
up-
and it's
yo,
got
the land
quartz in
is-
it or whatever.
To put claims is like dumb cheap. I think it's like $14.
There's one
like to put in a claim on the land.
Yeah.
That's like that. It's
You can.
super fucking cheap.
You can,
But it's all about like
you gotta get
processing
there.
that acre.
You gotta
You
get
gotta
there.
get somebody. A company
well, the thing
to
in
dig and
California
like that.
is you
It's
need to have permits and shit to bring in machinery and stuff. And where they are,
yeah,
to bring in
and
machinery
that's-
on that road. I mean, the road just got redone because I guess some big tree service company owns a portion of that side of his property. It's not his property, but they're neighbors. So where his road goes through is like kind of on the border of their property. So they have to fix any roads that are in that area. So they just fixed that road, and it's not bad, but bringing in equipment in that motherfucker. You look to your left, and you're gonna poop probably. You might squirt too a little bit, like, oh jeez, because you're looking at the top of fucking redwood trees that are 100 feet tall, and you're looking down at them, at the tops of them, like, man, that's steep, bro. And then, like, what? No way! If this thing just slides, we're fucked. That's all I keep saying to myself when I ride them roads, because I watch a lot of those videos where you see landslides and shit in California, and it's just like, whoop, gone. Oh, damn, that was motherfucking quick. All right.
No effort, just
boop,
collapse.
gone. So I look up, and I'm like, wow. And it's fucked. You can see trees that are standing straight up, that are healthy. There's
on the side of the cliffs, yeah.
straight up. And you know that ground that it's next to is sturdy because that root system's holding that fucking tree on a fucking who knows what degree that is, you know what I mean? Then you see parts of mountains where all the trees are like this.
It's going.
And you're like, that's going to go soon, for sure, 100%. And sometimes you find yourself in one of them spots where you see all the trees leaning, and you're like, all right, hurry up, get through here, go. California's weird to drive around in, man. They're used to it. They laugh at me. I am a little bitch, I'll admit it, but I'm just so cautious because I've had my CDL. So when you drive those things, you see some shit. And I've just always been cautious after that, even in a regular car. And I've had a bike, so that's 10 times worse.
Yep.
So caution is like number one when I'm behind a vehicle, because people are retarded.
For sure.
But it was good time, very good time. He gave me a little piece of gold. It was pretty cool. Going back probably next end of May, June-ish.
I'm going back to Puerto Rico in January.
Yeah, it's a nice time to go.
Dude, they just started their year one medical industry. A medical program.
There's no weed. going around right now.
What? Oh, there isn't.
What happened? Yeah.
Can I see that, John?
This one?
Yes.
The mini?
They're just starting out. They're, it's a little bit more open. They're really pushing towards like medical tourism too. That you can end up actually hitting up a doctor online.
Well, listen.
And actually, get a 30-day card, which you're not gonna be down in 30 days if you're just going on vacation and shit. And then you end up getting your thing and you go to the dispensary. But this is, mind you, this is one of the reasons that a lot of cultivators, myself, like that, really don't like to, go somewhere. One, if you go somewhere overseas, are you going to get any flour? Maybe not. If you do, it's not going to be like great. And two, you got to be from your garden. At least with Puerto Rico, it's like U.S. territory, so no passport. And they'll have the dispensary. At minimum, you'll be able to get dispensary weed versus like.
And that's awesome. Shit. I 100% fully agree with it. The only gripe that I have with all that shit is, and we see it now, they are, whoever it is stuffing their pockets first with the medical system, and then they make it wreck after a couple years.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So it's like, this is like alcohol. Everything's leaning toward the alcohol with the permits and this and that.
That was our plan. We said we were the ones that pushed for the whole medical because it would end up leading to wreck because it was just one stuff like that.
Exactly.
We 100%. This is something too that a lot of people still don't really fully understand. They get upset about how it's actually starting to go out with the high taxes and this and that. But we fought to get the cannabis industry into this type of mechanism as far as being the financial interest that we have in America. Yeah. So what did everybody think was going to happen?
Fight for rec first now. From like anybody who's fighting for it now, just fight for rec because. And every
single state's doing the same thing, doing pussyfooting, kind of a little bit like that. They'll start with the medical program and they'll continue to see if it's good
pockets for them. That don't need to be fattened. You know what I mean?
It's not. No, you know what it is. I think. The medical approach is the only way you can get the compassion win over the community.
Well, right, and I'm the asshole that will say, yeah, I'm totally down for it as medicine and stuff like that because it is 100%. But at the same time, everybody's going wreck, everything's going wreck, this, that, the other thing. So it's like, there's almost, for my brain, personally, when I travel around the country, I'm so used to wreck. I live in a medical state, but I'm so used to rec. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when I come back here, I'm like, oh man, it's not rec. Like, this is weird. You know what I mean? It just feels weird. Like that's what I'm saying. Everybody shouldn't have to go to a doctor to be able to smoke it and get a license. I think they should just be able to go and get a fucking.
Yeah, we all agree.
I think the dispensaries should be more than they are.
Just now that
they should really be more. There should really be more of a center for like true information about like what's really on the cutting edge as far as like medical side and really isolating some of these cannabinoids. Like really pushing. Like that's what I feel like dispensaries should be, but it just ends up being a fucking retail shop under the medical flag.
It's only medical state by state, so. The state can't say, oh, this testing is legal. It has to be federal. So the only way we're going to get anywhere with the real testing and like something we can really get maybe a second base or a jump start on second base because we already have MCR and stuff like that we have a standard, that's we've set in a way that we believe, whether I say it too, I don't like it. It's weird. I don't know if these guys are cleaning the shit the right way, and you know what I'm saying? So, the only way we're going to get to that real testing spot is when it's federal. Yeah. To really, have the funding and whatnot to get really nice equipment that's top-notch that, who knows, whatever, Switzerland.
You're going to have a lot of companies across the board cross-referencing.
Well, and
So
that's
yeah,
good.
that's
what I mean when it's,
too.
Right.
when it's
Like,
federally
exactly.
available.
Exactly.
But
Like,
right now,
like-
you just have pockets of
Right.
like,
exactly.
special interests almost sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
We were just
Special
playing with
interest,
this little
so
device, this little as
And
far as like
that's-
digital tester.
That's
as far
a
as for,
great
like,
base.
right. It's just and this ends up being great for like consumer level as far it's called high grade and something you end up attaching to your phone, which is basically just 30
No
times
free
zoom
promos.
with a light.
No free promos.
I'll believe that.
We expect 2 more units to arrive.
That's hey high
So
grade.
So
Hear
who
that
is it?
out.
High grade. High grade.
high
if you're
grade.
hearing this, hit us up.
We test it out. It's really great
We
for
have a
like
big reach.
consumer level, like me, like
Nah,
something
yeah,
like something
dude,
small.
I love it. It's
But
fucking,
it's obviously not for like official facility stuff like that.
No,
but
it's not. It's not for labeling reasons. It's
Nah.
It's for your own state of mind. If you get some bud, and you're like, all right, the dude told me that this shit's
fire.
well, yeah, ridiculous.
37%.
Yeah. And you scope it out, and it comes out to 16%. You go, all right, well, it wasn't what he said.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to really go anywhere and fight someone and debate them with it. It's just,
No.
it's for your own personal.
Yeah.
It's for your own personal.
Just personal, but it's cool
Well,
because
me.
this data ends up being uploaded to their
Well,
database and
especially
they're
if you're
getting
a
better at
grower.
it.
You
But
can
you
go
know,
into the fucking room and take a picture real quick. Take 3 fucking pictures real quick and fucking
That's
while
true.
it's on the plant.
That's true. I didn't even think about seeing that. If it's actually, you should
And then-
see. You should test that if it changes. Like,
Keep
week
going.
3.
Like, week 4, week 5, week
right,
6.
right.
But then again, we don't know how they're actually.
That's what they're not. That's what they're
Well,
not explaining.
I mean-
that ends up being out. But why would they? That's their bread and butter.
Right, of course. I understand.
Why would they share their algorithm with the whole public?
It's got to be heads
Trichome
or
density
amount
and,
of
like-
them, or the density of them, or
I-
how big they are, how small they are, because that camera can count, I guess, pretty quick if it's an app,
Analyze it,
it's
Well, this is just
You
the
know what I mean?
beginning, but even with the lab testing, from what I hear, different things that there's variations from one lab to another because they tend to use different type of equipment and they want to not mind you, these are just allegedly that they'll give you the higher number.
apparently.
They give you the higher number to make sure you come back to use their businesses like that. Allegedly, some labs.
I hear that all the
Right.
time.
So also the second part about this is that if people want their top as far as like the best of the top THC that's got within the plant, we all know that supposedly it's at the top of the plant. So why wouldn't I send the very top to get tested? That doesn't mean that's the average of the plant of the like.
That's
debunk that.
supposedly, I'll debunk that right now.
So yes, we were just let's. That's the thing. Does that?
I've already done it, and it's not. It's different all around the plant.
All around the
Especially
plant,
if you
not
s-
even the
like if you
tops.
touch one spot, even with gloves, and then spin it, and now you're touching it somewhere else. Or hopefully, that is why I usually, when I grab stuff, it's by the stem, because instantly now, if you were to take those spots where you touched and have them tested compared to spots that you didn't touch on that same bud,
lower.
it'd be lower.
There's
I
less
know it
sense.
would be.
Yeah.
You know
Makes
what I
sense.
mean? So that's the thing. Why I say being gentle and nice when you harvest, indoor or out.
Nice. Oh, so let me actually before we get away off that, we ended up actually, Frank ended up writing. We're recording today.
Fuck Frank, he didn't show up today. Again.
He's got his diarrhea and shit.
Oh, he's painting. Is that what he told you?
Yeah, he's out painting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Painting his balls.
somebody feel goodies ended up asking.
Hold on. Do you like that? That's the Rhode Island skunk.
This is hold on.
It's pretty good, I think.
Oh,
Definitely like
TV timeout. I mean, podcast timeout. We're gonna taste test here.
No. I'm live.
No, I know. Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I just wanted to mention that.
No,
Go ahead, go
I'm
for
ju-
it.
I'm
Wait,
just
wait,
saying.
wait. What's this?
I'm
Hold
just
on.
saying, like, haha type of thing.
Rhode Island skunk
Rhode Island skunk.
from Sagamara.
So you got me on that one. dog.
Sagamara seeds.
Dude, I'm really bad at reading names.
It's Sagamartha, I think. It's a silly name like that. They're old school. The breeders have been around for a while,
Oh shit.
but it's called Rhode Island skunk. So,
It's cool. It hits in the back of the throat. It's nice. So,
anyways, yeah, feel goodies from Instagram. What's up,
Phil
guys?
Goodies from Instagram. He ended up asking. He asked a few questions, but this one he ended up asking: can you maintain a medical system within a recreational market?
Oh, people are doing it. I mean, Colorado.
Well, in long term. Let's think 10 years from now.
Well, it goes with what I was just saying.
We'll go
pretty
around
much.
the table, everybody.
Yeah,
I
everyone
know,
go.
we just that's why I would say that's what kind of hit.
Yeah,
You
the
can
question.
go for it. We'll go one.
Alright, we'll go-
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure it can be done. like you said before, Joe, the compassion thing. Like, some of these politicians and shit like that, they don't. I know it's a jump start to the, wreck. That getting that compassion into some of these people that it matters to. I mean, but at the same time, like I said, it should be. It's for everybody. So if you're fucking, and I say 18 plus. If you're 18 plus and you want to fucking go buy some fucking weed in a shop. I mean, alcohol, whatever, is 21 plus, so let's go there, I guess, just for fucking argument's sake. You know what I mean?
I think it's easier to swallow if you say 21 plus.
Yeah, probably. So 21 plus, wherever you go, any fucking state, if there's a fucking store, you should be able to go in, show your proper credentials, which is your ID or your passport or whatever, and get some fucking bud, just like you can walk in and buy a 6-pack or a fucking liter of fucking Everclear.
So I said, yo, I got that ounce of like that fire, man. You'll say, what? It's that very special fire.
And yes, we should be able to cultivate privately.
Just cause.
Yeah.
100. I feel you there. All right. So what? Same question.
I mean, that
Maybe
causes
back to
a
you.
lot of shit, but it's my fucking right to garden. I can garden wherever the fuck I want.
Like Grandma said.
I don't think anyone said you can't though.
Well, outside in Rhode Island, I
Like
can't.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're still,
Like,
you
I
know.
have a badass garden right now. We've got mad fucking crazy kind of tomatoes, all kind of cucumbers, a fucking 2 badass watermelons. I have these mini fucking cantaloupes that I just
Well,
ate
that kind
one
of goes with the whole like
Fire
sustainability, you know.
So good.
Dope. That's a lot.
That
So
kind of
good.
sustainability to also along with the cannabis being your medicine, you know, to be allowed to like.
It's just a weird word for me now because of how fucking deep I am into this wormhole. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's- It's like, I get it. It is medicine, and it's for everyone. I just don't think they should be making money on making people get a license for it. Like, if that's the case, make everybody get a license for fucking alcohol. I know it's not medical, but it's for everyone. You know what I mean?
Maybe
It's
that
weird
card
to
just
me.
allows
I
you
just
that
don't get
extra
it.
benefit. Like I've always liked the how, well, I guess I'll give my part, but I always like the portion as far as like, you know, being taxed, so it ends up being totally different versus medical
all it
for
is.
But that's all it
for
is.
rec.
Right?
It still ends up being
a
like
money
that,
thing.
but again, I think they should feel a little bit more like, you know, of a learning center, more of like the top notch, like what's actually happening medically, how they're isolating stuff like that to be able to, you know.
Well, I've seen
change
medical
specific
stuff
things.
that's still the same price as commercial shit. So
That's what should be a difference. So it doesn't
It's
seem. Then by your experience, it seems to me that by the question asked that you don't think that it's the same shit, that they're making the same money. So, what's the point of having two?
Well, here's
It's
the
what a
thing.
politician's gonna say.
Here's the thing: if I can fucking grow corn and strawberries and tomatoes and all this other shit, and I can put a sign outside of my fucking yard with a little fucking thing, maybe some eggs too, and sell them to
That's
whoever
all-
drives by.
Yeah, but that's different.
Why is it different?
First off, eventually you're gonna end up, you know, somebody's gonna say, well, you've sold enough for long enough like that, you're gonna end up having to like pay something. Matter of fact, anything above a
Well,
specific
yeah,
amount,
you-
you're supposed to report to the IRS.
Well, no shit.
Everything
On
you're supposed
you
to
know
technically
within
report.
reason.
But we're still talking.
They're
still,
closing down kids' lemonade stands,
seriously, like
so
it's.
they'll shut you down if they
yeah.
see you on the side of the road.
They'll shut you
even
down.
if it's in your
Oh,
driveway.
you also selling weed on side too? Oh, that's definitely taxed. And you go to jail for anybody else,
no, I'll
anybody
pay-
else
I'll
for
pay the
collecting
tax.
water.
But let me
For
pay a
s-
farm tax because a lot of farmers get crazy tax on their
It will,
land.
but this is what's going to end up going with the new hemp fucking what was it? The hemp
Yeah, I think
growing
that's
act. That's the shit that
that's a
they're actually
different
working on
subject,
right
though.
now, though. But it doesn't matter because that's what you'll
No,
be
I'm
talking about as far as like
I
farming.
mean, comparing what Bond's talking about to what
Well-
the question was.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I know what you're saying though. It should be
I guess, yes, you can. You can definitely, it can be done. It's being done in Colorado. It's being done in Washington, I believe. It's being done in fucking Oregon.
The medical programs have not disappeared.
Some of them have got killed, you know, by the wreck. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people said, fuck it. And,
they got deals.
I mean, again, if it's there recreationally and you need it as medicine, eventually everything going rec will help it go federal. So then we get to the better testing, better pricing per milligram, better, you know, everything if it's federal, because now it's gonna be able to get funded by certain people that, yeah, it might go to, you know, whoever has money makes money, but I just see it a better system, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's a medical, there's a rec in the same state. Some people go, and that's the thing, because I see it a million times over. Some of these people that actually do need it don't even know what they should be taking.
This is why they need to be more. They need to be required to have more information than anybody else about it.
Exactly. I mean,
not just being another
like,
storefront.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that I agree with. But that should be, even when you go into a rec fucking place, you could say, listen, I have these symptoms. What does what? Because we know just as well as anybody else, certain different types of weed will make you feel different types of ways.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people can't smoke fucking high sativa fucking, you know, shit, because they'll fucking go through a wall, panic
that's
attack.
normal. That's pretty common. Well, for our audience, the ones that actually are listening to us, we're all pretty on like.
Well, and I think that almost might have to do with what is it called? Evolution.
Yeah.
A lot of these strains, cultivars, that are out now are mainly hybrids, but if you look at a lot of them, they're mainly indica dominant hybrids. So even take a year of smoking indica dominant hybrids, then you smoke a fucking joint of haze, you're gonna fucking, your brain's, you're gonna go through the fucking roof.
I'm gonna
You know what I'm saying?
about to pop a whole bunch of
it's an
hazes.
evolution. Think about it, like,
say fucking take the time.
even with people you see, like, they're getting shorter, they're getting hunched over, their arms are getting shorter because they're on a keyboard. Like, it's evolution, man. It's weird shit. So it's even just a year of smoking these high indica things, cultivars.
All right. So, East, same question.
Can you maintain a medical system in a rec market? All right. Well, kind of like what Bon just said, the true patients will stay medical. Meaning, like, the people with cancer, the true, like, the actual people that this is actually really intended for, these medical programs, they're not going to veer off, because I believe that's a lifestyle that they're actually dependent on. And the herd is definitely going to thin out once the veil of medical isn't needed anymore. Once you don't need to hide behind it, you're going to see all of the...
Yeah, well, of course.
You're going to see all the fuckheads...
And that's 85%.
Flop over, and they're
probably.
just, you know... Because it all becomes about convenience. And if it's more convenient to just walk in and grab it and pay $3 extra for the grant, for the purchase or whatever it is more on the rec side versus the medical... They're just going to go wreck, and they're not going to re-up their card. They're not going to pay $400 a year for their card or whatever. So you're going to see a huge drop-off, but that doesn't mean the medical programs are invalid or shouldn't be a concern or thought of, because the standards in the growing don't change for the rec or the medical. The standards don't change. It has to be the same clean weed. We've talked about this already. It has to be the same fucking high-quality weed.
Right.
The only thing...
We've said that. I forgot about that.
But the only thing that changes really is the tax breakdown of a medical versus a recreational tax bracket, which if you hold your medical card, by theory, you should be paying less money for your...
Permits. Sorry. I was that came right out. It was in my head, and I tried to keep it there.
Well, that's the thing, though. Let's say if you end up this is how most it's gonna go because we're talking about going into the same marketplace that every other industry is in. If you're gonna end up charging people, you want a lesser charge for the medical, then that means you have to be selling it for less so they can sell it for less.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Wait, I'm sorry.
But it costs the same or more for a permit to have a cultivation center, and yeah,
But it's a
know what
lesser.
I'm
But it's a lesser permit thing.
No, the cost to have a medical permit is much higher than rec.
right. Yeah.
It's true. Might as
But they
for
want
no reason.
But it needs to be less
'Cause it's the
money
same.
to buy. How economically that just doesn't make sense
For the consumer, because
It's just it should still be all the same. Dead even, but
Yeah.
you're just the cultivation are just taxed differently.
it's not even the cultivation centers are taxed differently. The retailer is taxed differently. The retailer still has to pay the
Well,
same.
yeah, shit rolls downhill.
Yeah, but I don't think
But
that.
they-
I don't think it should be. I think it should end up being everybody.
But they're gonna. But
If
from
I'm
what I
going for
understand-
medical, why should I still be taxed the same as rec?
wait,
You feel me?
no.
Okay,
If
so
you're medical,
if I'm medical, right? If I'm growing medical, then I should be, as my company, my cultivation site, should end up getting charged in taxes less, the same as the retail shop. Why? Because I'm growing
yes,
medical.
that would make sense economically. Yes.
But that's how you end up having the permit being exactly the same. But
well, like he said, they're not.
no,
the
rec,
medical.
rec and
the medical
well,
permit
yeah.
is much higher.
Same
Well, and
one.
I think it.
but they just end up being taxed differently from the government.
I don't know how it works in Colorado,
I
but
think
I
that
see.
would end up being fair, but that's not how it works. They only talk about towards the end when you talk about how you're selling
Yeah, I know
the
what you're
retail
saying.
shop and the customer side.
Right.
They end up paying less, but they're not. As far as the retail, the cultivation, they're paying the exact same as rec.
Yeah,
and that's
alright,
not
so
fair.
now, like I said, shit rolls downhill. How much did you? Okay, so say you are getting it cheaper at a medical spot, right? You're at a medical spot, and you have your license. How much did you pay a year for your license? Does it add up to what?
Well, that's what you got to determine.
Well, right.
If you smoke a lot,
Well, no, and I'm saying for medical, like these real patients that with cancer and all kind of other shit that need it.
right?
Oh, yeah, they get breaks on. Like I'm sure a lot of them get, disability breaks. In Rhode Island, I guess they get whatever.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, over time, does it add up?
You talk,
The
but
taxes,
you're still talking about on the consumer and consumer and retail side. We're talking about more on the cultivation side, and why isn't
No, I
that?
know. I'm
That
just
that's what you
talking
were talking about.
money
You
in
want
general,
yeah, you're talking
really.
about the permit, and we're talking about
it should add up
how
because if you need it medically, then you should be consuming.
right, and if you're
enough
growing
of
for
an
medically,
amount.
you should be taxed differently. That's all, but it isn't. And you're saying, and you're like, we all know that medically is actually more currently than rec, which is wild. Like I think it's like at least 3 times more
Well,
almost.
it's ass backwards because how the fuck do you yeah?
And that's
That's
because
because
this brings up
I'll
my
tell you
whole.
why.
That's the price
I
of
can
the
tell you
word
why. It's because
medical.
No,
Because
that's
that's all
not
the
why.
difference. We already said
It's because they're the pioneers that broke in. They're the ones that had to pay the piper.
today. But that's the thing, like even past like coming today to still pay that same price tag.
But they
Well,
don't
it's different
because
everywhere,
now they just buy rec licenses.
Well, there's different licenses too. That
So
like, are,
it's
you
just
know.
you pick what category you want to play ball in.
Just to keep government happy, one flat medical or rec, and then you end up being taxed differently, just like you would a for-profit and a non-profit businesses, same fucking way.
Well, yeah, all right. So
We're
in my
talking about
eyes,
introducing into the
a
same
30
economic
lighter
system.
is a
what
30
we want
lighter.
what we want to do, what we dream about is fancy. It's all great. It's all nice. But what's happening is we're going to this system, and there's spots for these specific types. So we're talking about like, look, I'm paying. Why am I paying that high shit when I'm talking about for medical? And this is where that nonprofit and that 501c3s come in. That's where you end up being taxed less. You're able to write off more. Your profit margin, is not great, but it's there and it's consistent, and you're happy with your work.
Well, like a 30 lighter is a 30 lighter. So you can grow medically in a 30 lighter. You can grow commercially in a 30 lighter. So now the medical one that paid more for their cultivation license. You know what I'm trying to say?
But they've been playing ball for years now. They made their money.
It's true. They're being hogs
True.
now, though. The ones that've been in it for a while, I'm gonna say at least like, say 5 years to be fair. I'm gonna say they're like, oh, it's just making sure they maintain that high profit.
I just, if you're gonna have a spot, it should be. I see Nicotine's spot. I think in Colorado is there's a medical side and there's a rec side.
That's how like all Colorado is. All of the stores there.
Yeah.
There's like two
It's
doors.
two stores. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I don't know.
So maybe
What
I
it
don't.
costs to
Maybe
get.
maybe it's not. Maybe it is a flat rate across the board because. You know when they went because they did their medical and rec start at the same time.
No. I think they had medical.
They had
first
medical
for a
first.
while,
Yeah,
yeah.
medical
Yeah,
first.
they definitely paved the way, obviously, and that's
They
what it's
did.
for. That's what it's for.
It was that because of that little
All right,
girl
so
that
how
started
about
it.
let's
Well, that
fucking
girl
not
going
call it
viral.
rec.
What's her name?
Let's just
Charlotte
call it
Swim?
medical across the board, but like 21 and plus, 21 plus.
You can't when you
know
say
what I mean?
medical. You can't
Adult
say 21
use.
plus because kids that got seizures and stuff like that. That's how this ended
Yeah,
up
but
coming.
that's still medical
So
use.
this whole wave of everything that
You
we're
know
talking
what I
about
mean?
now, and the fact that we actually have like a podcast when we're talking about this whole thing, ended up really setting fire when that little girl Charlotte ended up
Charlotte,
like
yeah.
with the seizures and how the cannabis and the RSO ended up actually like helping stop her seizures and like that, and how that video went viral, how we were able to show that same video, and that would change your mind if you've seen that video. That changes a lot of people's
Oh,
mind.
100%.
And now another state is medical and this and that and blah blah blah, and that's what really ended up setting fire to this. Let's not like forget. And then they were the first ones to push for rec.
But do you understand how this happens? Like, to play ball, you have to go medical first,
this
and
is
it's
the
a lot of
system,
money.
that's it.
So that's just how it rolls. It costs a lot of money to be
but
to
people
to
people
be
expect it to be cheaper. You know what I mean?
We'll see. Each state's gonna end up doing their
but
own
it
thing.
is cheaper.
Not by much.
But it is cheaper. Even if it's pennies cheaper, it ends up being cheaper. It sounds like bullshit, but the medical side is always going to be cheaper than the rec side for the consumer.
Should be.
Well, it's fucked up because
I can't imagine anywhere that it's not.
I've seen the same prices because the same weed is on the same shelves on one side and the same as the other, same hash from the same plant. So I don't know how they separate it. It's probably just tags, code. You know what I mean? That could be scanned. That goes around the plant. But one side's commercial, one side's rec.
Talking to Mike.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the product that comes into that building is product. They have to split it up between the medical and the rec side. That's the retailer's job. That's not the cultivation. Like, the cultivator's not going, okay, this plant is a medical plant, this one's a rec plant. They're growing out their crops and selling them to the storefronts, and the storefronts are dealing with medical and
But yet
rec.
in Rhode
Now, that's in
Island-
That's in Colorado.
Right.
That's in
But yet,
Colorado.
in Rhode Island, we have whatever
Rhode Island is not.
17 cultivators growing for 2 dispensaries.
Yeah. And it's medical dispensaries. It's not even rec.
Exactly.
So, and they're
And
also
it's not cheap
they,
in there either.
and they
I
also
mean,
set up. Here's what happened. They opened up dispensaries fucking almost a decade after they've had caregivers.
Mhm.
And the state's not big. So before there was dispensaries, there was plenty of growers. So by the time you have the overlap of people leaving their grower, which they usually don't, going to like switching over to the dispensary, I mean it's a little too late at that point. So all of their clientele is mostly people that didn't have a connection. You know what I mean? It's not like they're getting that whole market of people that actually are on the medical program.
all right, so as a grower, caregiver in Rhode Island. When we got your license, this is going back. You had 2 extra cards that you could give applications to a caregiver, or when Slater Center came around, Slater Center, they took one of your other cards.
Mm-hmm.
To-
That's if you're a patient.
Right. To grow
For you.
that for me.
Right.
So I said, okay, cool. Can I bring in my cultivars? And you guys grow them for me, and that's mine.
No.
Okay, so cool. You just get a card for free and get to fucking grow 24 extra plants and sell it to everybody
Yes.
that's a patient and just make all that money? Cool. Sweet. Love it. I was like, no. Give me my card back. I was like, you're not growing for me. Fuck you. That's what I said. A lot of people would disagree with that, but guess what? I'm not gonna. No way.
And ultimately, I think we all push that too. That everything at the end of the day, everybody should also grow your own.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
But it's going towards the way where they're not going to let us.
Was that the end of your answer, or go to the next question?
Yeah, go on to the next one.
All right.
Well, how about what is your take on the full-blown, commercial? You know that question?
Okay. Yeah. What's your guys' take on full-blown commercialism, venture capitalism, jumping into cannabis industry versus the underground way things have always been? Question mark.
I'll answer it. I don't even think it's really a question. I mean,
What's the difference between commercial and underground?
no.
Commercial in the black market.
Here's the question. Do you have 6, 7, 10, 30, 40 million dollars on hand?
Yeah.
You probably don't, and don't be ashamed if you don't, because the majority of the world doesn't.
Yeah.
But
Unless you're damn bazillion.
that's the cost. But then you have it, so you're one of those lucky people.
Yeah.
But that's the cost of doing this business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just what it is. If you don't need to have an investor,
Now here's
that's
the thing.
awesome for you.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Just this kind of ties into it. What is your take on the extra capital that they must throw into the equation just in case?
Working capital?
Well, side capital, just capital like that's set aside.
Equity.
If something happens, you can keep running, you can keep
Yeah,
lights
it's
on.
working capital.
Yeah,
Right, yeah,
equity
working, yeah.
or an escrow.
What do I
or,
think about it?
those, like,
Yeah, like is it a
It's
lot?
also-
Is it, or I mean that's the
It's
thing.
whatever
like,
you
it's
seek.
whatever you got.
It's whatever
Whatever
you.
they want to
that.
do.
Well, that's
really.
just
Well,
the
no.
powers of be way of keeping the working man out, because we don't have that working capital.
Whatever
or
you
I'm
get-
just
venture
wondering if they
capitalism
know
or
if these investors
inequity and
know
stuff.
this.
They know everything. Yes.
Of course they do. They know how to block us out. It's a price tag.
Well, it's not block us
When
out.
you're dealing
it's-
with an investor,
You just said
need-
who has $40 million. That's how they block us out.
well, block the people who don't have it.
Well,
yeah.
well, I'm saying when someone asks a question like that,
Yeah.
well, how do you feel about, VCs getting involved and all these commercialization stuff? Like, I don't like. It sounds almost like hippy dippy, like, boo-hoo, like, ooh. But any big operation of any industry, cars,
Bless.
anything, any major department store, any type of big business you try to operate, it is not cheap.
Yeah.
It's just not.
It's not.
So
Not
this is
in
no different,
market.
and this is even a
Not
little
in
bit
this
more
marketplace,
expensive
no.
because of all the things you got to pay off, like the towns
Oh my
and
God.
all the things that you don't normally have
Well,
to do
right.
for regular business.
Right.
But this is the new gold, and everyone's broke. So you can't blame
I'm going
people.
to gold.
You can't blame people for trying to get a piece of it. So when you're like, oh, why should it cost so much money? You got real estate involved. That's a whole entity of itself.
Oh,
You're
man.
dealing with that.
Jesus.
You got to deal with civil engineers, structural engineers, architects,
Dude, so
zoning, the town,
and they don't know what they're doing. I ran into somebody that is in a real estate agency, and they get phone calls and emails like 20, 30 a day about asking about property, and they have no idea where to look. I told her, I was like, look for towns that are like in favor and find out what property that you got there. That's it. What the fuck? Like, it's not that.
I know, but I'm just,
it's
like,
a lot.
Because I've heard people gaff at me when I tell them about what's going on, and they're like, "What? Why would it cost that much money?" And it's just like, oh my, you're built to build these buildings. You're not building a fucking empty warehouse. You know what I mean? These things are like $300 a square foot to build.
And what most
do
people
the math.
Don't know, and what people don't know, it's cheaper to tear down and build a new one than it is to renovate an old one.
It's safer, it's better, it's cheaper. You're giving the value. You're putting a new structure up and putting value into it immediately. That's way better than using an old piece of shit building.
It's all new technology.
I mean, not just that too, but you don't know paint, lead, this and that, asbestos. You need specific
surprises.
dudes that you got to paint and to scrape it off like $25 an hour, and then $35 an hour to like put it away and shit.
Fucking $15 an hour to do that.
But I just want to go back.
That's not what they charge you though.
No, I want to go back.
Shit, my boss was probably making $75 an hour.
See what I'm saying? Like on some, what the fuck?
Easily.
I know. I just want to go back because, like, no one thinks about. Everyone just thinks grow some weed, and sell it.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
But it's just.
Always grow the same amount.
Think about how much power you need to bring into a building, the cost of that, running that, operating that, the HVAC for that, payroll of a facility of significant size. You're looking at between $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $70,000 a month.
Yeah.
So yeah, just grow some plants. It's not that easy. It requires major capital to do it properly, and to do it legally, and to do it on the books in the way everyone wants it done. So, yes, commercialization and venture capitalists are needed because they have the funding. It's not like their brains are needed for this industry to work.
No,
it's their money. It's their money.
All they want to know is spreadsheets.
They get the percentage back and forth. That's it. That's all.
This will all work if they give their money to us.
Do it.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get money from a rich guy and have his influence be me.
That's it. Need that your presence in other rooms too. Your brand's gotta be there when you're not there.
Yeah. So that's just, it doesn't sound, because everyone's all anti-corporate and all this. It's fun to be that, and but you got to come down to the realization of the cost of business and what it takes. And again, if you're a trust fund kid and you got all this money, then you've already benefited off the bullshit that you're complaining about anyway. But most people don't have the money, and this is what it takes. It takes venture capitalists.
Yeah, this is the disillusion of a lot of people within the old industry with everything that they don't understand. It's like, look, we wanted this. We wanted rec to put into their marketplace. This is how their marketplace works.
Right.
It's as simple as that. We wanted our own marketplace, but we didn't think about that. We just talking about, let's do it medical. A fucked up medical systems. Every single state's got, like, it's fucking crazy. And then rec following right behind it, and this was the steps that we took.
Well, it's crazy because you watch them fill the loopholes as they figure
Jesus
them out.
Christ.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like,
Guessing at, like, they're doing darts.
Like, just fuck off already and just make it fucking federally legal. That's all I'm saying. And you can keep the medical programs, but now I feel medical programs. I mean,
I can't hear you.
I want to say they might be better, but I can see it going towards like the big medical companies, like
they're already big ones already coming. They're
and
coming
shit.
from Canada.
So see,
Canada is
at least
jumping in hardcore into this fucking country's market of
That shit is crazy.
Trust me,
They're
I've
like
talked to them.
driving. Canada's right there. They're gonna end up getting a decent foot here and there.
They are investing hard.
well,
Canada, I'm totally down, man. Like, I've got plenty of ideas.
spell
Hit
Canada?
us up. Hit me up.
What's another good question that was on there?
That one kind of doing with the cost too, as far as like when will you see price of LED drop, go down and stuff like that. I can answer. That's an easy one. I can answer that one. That one's like
when when they started.
Technology keeps improving, so what used to be 1,500 now will probably be 700 in
Just
like
TVs,
6, 7 months, 8
just
months.
like
Same
computers.
thing. It's just depending on the technology and like really holding it down. But at the same time, none of them actually know specifically what to do. There's only a few that actually say that are right now currently good. The GS Thermal is one of them, and then the other ones are that like rail like looking ones, just like that, the strips. So, fucking
the spiders.
yeah, something like that. Those two right there because they end up being more of a full spectrum, but the GS Thermal, which you'll be able to control the actual spectrums, which is cool. It learns like you think so, but that's that's kind of like it's like a blank canvas, so you got to kind of like work it a little bit to get it going and shit.
Well,
But once those
nice
prices
thing
drop,
about
that
it is-
eventually those will drop because they'll have new shit that come out
and
even
that's
better.
the problem. That's the problem with a major investment in LEDs. Is you're paying for this efficiency cost that you're going to maintain, that you're going to achieve eventually, but up front you're paying this massive cost.
Massive savings.
And by the time you hit that savings point where you're ahead, it's like, oh shit, these lights are obsolete.
But I blame that on the light companies because
Of
they shouldn't
course,
even, they shouldn't
it's-
price them the same as you
it's
would
an-
at the fucking double end Gavita.
I mean, I don't know anything about.
The only positive I can say about the LEDs is that there are cannabis connoisseurs that are actually really educated in building and knowing what these diodes are and how to build them themselves and customize them for these spectrums that we need. So it is evolving a lot quicker because of that, you know what I mean, from what it was. I mean, the ones you have right now, I mean, they look fucking, shit looks pretty nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, the lights worked really well. I mean,
So the more and more
So that's
It's coming.
I guess that just all our same answer. Technology is getting
Yeah.
better. Eventually, down the line, what used to cost you a lot won't in like
just
a
like any
year.
other, just
Not
like any
gonna-
other piece of
Well,
electronics.
do you think a year, maybe like 8 months?
What?
Within 8 months, will probably drop anything that you have right now.
Of course.
I mean, usually every year another generation is born of a product, or for electronics they try to keep an annual
A lot of people
regeneration
are trying to open up
rate.
a lot of light companies saying they think they know the right fucking
Yeah, then
diode.
and then they don't exist 6 months later.
True.
I mean, it's just it's just
7
everyone
months?
everyone can build.
Wait 7
everyone-
months, the price will drop. That's the calling. I'm
Everyone
calling the
knows.
marketplace
Everyone
right now.
has the best
Bam.
answer. Everyone knows better. Everyone, you know what I mean? It's kind of sickening at that. Like, I'm so sick of seeing these companies and these people say this shit. Like, we have the best. It's like, whatever, dude. You just have a product
Yeah.
that might actually work excellent with so and so and so and so and so and so, but it maybe not work great with this guy. Like, don't just relax. But that's marketing. That's just people's. That's a personal gripe of mine. I just can't stand the
All right.
bullshit.
LEDs got work to do. They're getting there eventually. All right.
Why is there no price standard for pricing milligrams across the board? Right? It's a long question, but that's basically what the question was.
Which one?
Another one from
There
Feel
is no
Good.
standard of
Well-
anything. There is for
Okay.
actually dosing it, but
Well,
That's the
there
thing that-
there is. That's why you see some shit you can get for like $7.50, some
the
shit you can get
knowledge
from
isn't
like because some
spread,
shit is
though,
better.
for- to
Yeah, but
these
that-
people that are making the stuff. That
Their
goes
question is
into-
about like pricing across the board. Like,
All right, so I'll read out the whole question. All right.
Wait,
What is your guys' take
real
on
deep?
cannabis product pricing? Why hasn't there been, and can there eventually be an established price point for a standard milligram quality of product? Question mark. Hope these are all good debatable questions that help looking forward. Blah 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 blah. And now shout it out.
in other words, across the board, why doesn't 5 milligrams equal $5, no matter what the fuck you're buying?
Different
Good
quality
question.
shit.
Because I'll tell you why. Because this is a craft industry.
Fuck your craft.
Well, no, it's a craft, so you can't tell someone what they're worth. They're gonna tell you what
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
worth.
Yeah, it's the same reason why certain wine is worth more than others.
And
Same
supply
reason
and
why.
demand and all that stuff plays
Right,
a role
same-
in it. It's
same thing.
economics.
Same thing why some medicine is worth
I-
more than others.
Fuck
Same reason.
You would need to have a government mandated welfare system to have a cap on shit like that.
Yeah.
I want to make wine out of those cotton candy grapes.
When it comes to, I
Those are
think
nice.
I always want to think about like as the stock market.
ever
The
have 'em?
price goes up, the price goes up. Some stocks are better than others. Like obviously,
your
like,
life.
a Gorilla Glue right now
Cotton
is
candy
much
grapes.
higher than like like a fucking sour right now. Definitely.
That would be dope if there was like
Season.
an exchange market
find 'em.
for strains that was like you could watch it.
Yeah, there's somebody's already thinking about it because I just saw
And-
one
and
for
base it-
sneakers.
And base it all
Like-
off of dispensary sales. So have everyone linked up across the board, rec, medical, whatever, and whatever strains are.
I don't trust dispensaries anymore though. They got to.
Well, they're just reporting their actual sales. They would have to report
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they're
yeah.
selling. I mean,
they probably inflate those.
Well,
shits.
you know why? I don't like dispensaries. In that, a different aspect is like back to that medical thing.
we need
They
some more
don't-
weed, fellas.
They don't. She stole my lighter. They don't care about. I've been in the medical. I live in Rhode Island. I've been in Slater. I've been in all these places.
We know that they're a joke.
They don't care
Of course
about
not.
those people.
No,
and
they
I
don't.
see like legit people go in there that are like struggling to get to the fucking the
like
counter.
I said, they had to play the compassion card to get their ball of money
So-
rolling.
so
And
this
we
is-
all know that.
So this is something
they're
too to
not
think about too,
compassionate.
as far as when thinking about pricing. Yeah, even in the being with a medical or recreational, what town or city, what county, what province is that shit being sold at? Because we all know that shit that might be cheaper between somewhere in Colorado is definitely gonna be cheaper than it is in like Aspen. Because Aspen even was like everybody's saying already, like from a long time, 400 an ounce, and they have it like that because they got
That's
that.
a demograph.
That's so now you start thinking about two things: the quality, the medical, as far as gram to dollar, where the region, the demographics, who actually did it, the brand recognition.
All that shit.
All that shit will end up deciding the factor. So there's no normalization. You just got to figure that out.
And then all those factors might only make a difference of a couple dollars, but all of those are the factors.
Well, look at these guys going to crazy fucking caves and mines in like Switzerland and Denmark and stuff to do mine Bitcoin and shit. Like crazy places because it's like cheap ass fucking electric and it's cold as fuck.
Oh, they just ended up actually changing it as far as like how much you get. They like slashed it in half. They went from like 12 to like 6.5.
bet.
As far as like how much you can end up getting within like mining Bitcoin. So now it's going to take even longer with a bigger room to actually.
Well, they
dig out
predicted
one
this.
coin
What's
and
this,
shit.
the guy?
It's
that-
just a matter of
the
yeah,
guy
because it's
who wrote
supposed to.
the
It's
guy who
supposed to
wrote
divide
that
by
thing.
half, yo. Like every time you get closer to the end, because there's only like a finite number of that shit.
Yeah, it's like.
I got my Bitcoin
I think there was like
We got any more questions?
Let me see.
17 million of them or something.
Oh, okay.
Bitcoins.
Here's a good one.
I forget. It was a lot, but maybe I don't know. I
So-
forget.
What do you guys do in worst case scenario? Late flowering. You've got spider mites or PM on part of your on some of your plants. in your
Throw it
grow.
out.
Ditch everything. Fight it. Trim off offending parts. How do you deal with
Throw it out. Clean the
damaged
room.
crop?
First of all, punch yourself in the dick for not catching this shit sooner if you're in the late phase
Wow,
of
you're,
it.
you're getting ruthless.
You gotta get ruthless on this shit.
Punch
This is
yourself in the dick.
Punch
Oh.
yourself right in the dink.
if you're late stage hitting these problems, you've been neglecting. So you deserve to just douche the whole room,
Yeah.
and that's what you need to do anyway.
Yeah.
Unless you feel like,
Peened?
I mean,
Pete.
you can be a fucking dirt diggler and sell some dirty weed to people. I mean, that's on you. That's your karma.
Yep.
Do what you want. It's your just. I mean, we don't have to
Yeah, I
tell
guess
you.
fucking
Punch yourself in the dick too.
stick your fucking head in your ass because that's what you've been doing with your garden, I guess. But no, yeah, throw it out, redo your room, clean it up.
Gotta
Start
douche
over.
that shit.
So you heard it. Punch yourself in the dick and stick your head in your ass.
Yeah.
Those are the first things you do.
That's the first thing you do.
That's your punishment.
right?
That's your punishment.
And
At least you
can't-
caught
if
it.
You can't reach, ask someone to help.
You gotta scrub that fucking room.
Oh yeah, totally do shit and
Yeah,
start
Because those
over.
things can pop up 3 grows later. Like,
Yep.
seriously. They could be in your fucking fans. They could be behind your. They could be under a 2x4 that's on your ceiling. Like, they could just be chilling.
So this is something that we have as far as a slight benefit over the West Coast. We have a winter.
Yeah, but those motherfuckers, man, they hide in soil.
They stay. They're.
They
dude,
hide in everything. It's fucked up.
If you scrub your whole room, you got everything done.
you
Right?
know what it's
You
called?
go
It's
through
called being
wintertime.
dormant.
yeah, You'd be really.
That's what I mean by they
That's
chill
why I
for
said,
like the
you know,
winter time, and then all of a sudden you're
How
like,
long
what
are they
the
dormant? Those little things, have been
Dude, it's
dormant for a long,
mother
long
na-
time.
if they weren't if it that didn't happen, they'd only exist for one fucking season and then
Well, that's
never
the thing,
exist
though.
again.
That's why we don't have like a rampant outbreak like there is out west.
Well,
Like you hear, like, you know, all right, you got some people because probably brought some shit
I
from
grew-
outdoors
I-
into your fucking indoor garden,
yeah.
like a dumbass, or didn't.
I
fucking
grew a
cleanse
couple
yourself.
the
plants.
conditions are definitely drier and more primed out west for these things to.
Well, it's fucked up.
continue
I
spreading.
grew 2 plants outside last year. Small, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Not in a spot where there's like a lot of, you know, my yard. There's not like a lot of shit around
Right.
there. You know what I mean?
You're pretty much on the top of a grassy fucking hill.
Yeah. Well, when shit started budding, I went out there one day and I started looking. I'm like, motherfucker, it's fuck. And I wasn't preventing or anything. They were
just
they were
threw it out
males
there?
too to begin with. I was just watching them. I wanted to see, you know, if there was any trikes on it. You know what I mean? I was looking for a male.
Yeah.
But fucking spider mites everywhere. I was like, holy shit! And I ran in the house. I fucking threw my clothes in the washer. I took a shower.
Yo,
I was like, damn, right in my motherfucking backyard. Like, I was so nervous.
It's
How did you get rid of it?
I had fucking my brother go out there and fucking chop them down. And
Why
then
didn't you do
he
it?
left
No.
my house that as soon as, like, he left my house. And while he was leaving, I said, hey, go over there and kick those fucking things and stomp on them and take off. So we went over and fucking stomped on him, and he didn't come back in my house. He's never around any plants or anything anyway.
Yeah.
He was going on a flight back to fucking Tennessee.
yeah, that's how spider mites travel across the country.
Exactly. You just said spider mites in Tennessee. Good
Whatever.
job, Bond.
I don't give a fuck. They weren't
Jesus
in my
Christ.
yard anymore.
God, they're all on his foot.
Yeah, on the,
I'm sure they all died.
everybody's
after
getting
that.
all the people, different countries. Like, yo, I don't know how the fuck I was on a plane and I got
Well,
spider mites.
yeah,
dog.
when I leave California, I wash
Just-
all my clothes
just know-
and my shoes.
Bugs are resilient
'Cause-
motherfuckers.
Yeah, they are.
They've been around longer than we have.
I think I think they can stay dormant in seeds. If you do like outdoor breeding and you have russet mites can
That's what we hear.
can.
You think it's like an old wives' tale?
wanna
I don't know.
smoke
I
some
heard.
weed.
I
I
heard.
want to like.
I heard a
I've been
big
looking at
time
that thing
breeder
for 2
from
hours now.
California say it.
I'm glad you're eating it. No, because I won't want the whole thing.
He'll want not just half. He'll want the bottom half.
It's like,
which
I
is
got a
before
brownie. I was
your
like, I've been
half.
looking at the whole thing. I was like, you
Now,
want a piece? He's like, no, I want the
it's
whole
gone.
thing. I'm like, yo.
That's why I said no, thank you. I appreciate the offer. You need to enjoy that.
I'll share my last donut.
Nah, it's
It's a
all
chocolate
good.
donut. It's good.
That sounds
Double
good.
chocolate.
So yeah, chop it down, start over, scrub it out.
Yeah.
Start over.
Dust yourself off and try again. I don't know
Somebody
if
asked,
anybody remembers that song.
what does a
but-
newbie put in for like? What does a newbie start and what should he put money into? Thanks. It sounds like a
We've
wrong
touched on this before.
I mean-
it's kind of it's all
It sounds like a
preference.
right question,
You-
honestly.
You're not gonna, unless you have money and investors, you're not gonna fucking go anywhere. Number one, and it's gonna be hard to build. You have to build a brand, and
Well, I think he means like literally, he wants to grow some plants for himself. So you
Oh.
buy
Oh,
a tent.
home grow?
Yeah,
okay.
you buy a tent. You don't need investors for this. You get a tent.
Well, he said, like,
No, I know. But I read the question earlier. I'm pretty sure the dude's asking. He's new. Like, how do I start growing? So you go, you get a tent.
big time.
You get a light.
commercial shit.
Nah, well, I mean, if you want to go commercial, you know, read the book someday.
Day one.
Go buy lawyers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lawyers.
But they're out there.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Well, yeah, get a
They're-
tent.
Shit is wild.
No, you go for all you really gotta do is go to any grow shop and they'll give you the basic setup for like $400. I would think like $400. You'll get a tent. You'll get a fucking 200
nothing
watt
big.
light. Like
Yeah, it'll be very
So
small.
he's talking about like maybe like a 2x4.
yeah, but they're gonna give you like the starter kit's a light. They'll give you a 200 watt light. They'll give you a fucking shit light.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude's asking
Overpriced
basics.
shit light.
That's true.
All right, if you want to spend $1,000, you can get yourself a nice running tent with a nice light, and you'll get your money back on your first grow.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Something about right.
Any money you spend, you'll get your money back.
$1,000.
But you spend $1,000, you'll get yourself a good little.
That's
Well, yeah,
Wait,
it's depending on, are you planning on, smoking it all to your head, or are you planning on trying to divvy some out to some homies to make some little capital back? What's the deal here?
That's you just asked, what do I do if I'm new?
So, I looked at it when I read that as like what else like that? I ended up getting some compact fluorescents, just enclosing an area, putting some fucking soil, some seeds, and that started going from there. That's it.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
you can't flower like that though.
You can do it super fucking cheap.
No, you can. You definitely can.
Super fucking
You
cheap.
definitely can. You
If you want a
don't.
decent setup, $1,000. Will do
Yeah.
it
You know what I
nicely.
did?
Probably
You
even
know what I used to
probably
do?
even include the part of that 1,000 buying good genetics starting from the
Yeah,
beginning.
that'll give you $1,000. Will give
Yeah.
you a pack of seeds, which is probably gonna be $100. That's 1/10 of your fucking
That's how it
cost.
Wow.
That's the game, which is crazy
I mean,
still.
Or you
The
can
seed
find
game's
friend,
fucking
or
nuts.
you can usually find
You just
some
use
free
seeds that you
seeds.
found. That's what I used to do.
'Cause think
I
about
used to
it.
find
You pop
bomb ass
10,
bud and grow them seeds.
You pop 10.
Well, this is
say
going
2,
back
3 of them are really good. Females.
12 years. Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And this was, I was so bad where I wouldn't even go to, there weren't many grow stores at all ever, you know what I mean? Anyways, but I would use one of them construction lights, the big yellow ones that give off fucking crazy heat. I would just build a little plastic tent and hang one of them from my basement thing, wherever I was. There was a couple of them I did. One at my grandmother's, one at my house, where I lived in the apartments. But just a couple little plants, and every once in a while I take them out and put them in the fucking sunlight, and then bring them back in. But it was always timed. I knew the timing, But I always grow. It always grew okay, bud.
Do you have any more papers? Blunt papers?
I got papers.
Blunt papers?
No.
You want to do a Jamba Juice blunt? Can I see the Jamba Juice? It's a big jar. Yes. No.
No.
Jamba.
Yeah. Grinder, where's Grinder?
Oh, so
Your
yeah,
wife took
1,000.
Oh, Jesus, my wife.
Did we just all zoned out there for a second? So $1,000 get you a pack of seeds. Pay 100. Don't pay more than 100. Seriously, don't go out and trying to bet I'm gonna get a fucking official cookie fems for 300 and blah blah. You just starting out.
Yeah, just
Start with 100. Start with some good crosses, something early, not easy, not no haze, just fucking
any
20-something.
I feel like almost
shit,
any pack you get nowadays is you can get something worth keeping. I mean, for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, especially
Because
with
you
the
end up
breeders
at,
around now.
out of 10, you end up keeping about 2 or 3 at most.
Yeah. I mean, it may not be the best, but
Sometimes.
it's something you can definitely keep. I mean,
Yeah.
You buy a pack of exotic genetics and you're
if you get a pot,
keeper.
forget
Well,
it.
and then now you're gonna have to get another tent, because now you got to keep mothers if you're gonna keep mothers.
Some people don't
and
really
has
understand
anybody
all
guys
that
know
either.
how to do the whole cultivar thing? I mean, not cultivar, culture, the tissue as far as growing it.
Not really.
Has anybody seen?
Nah, you need a sterile and crazy sterile environment. And all
People
that
grow
bullshit.
shrooms in their own environments in their basements with tubs.
Yeah, it's
we can
different,
fucking
though.
get that shit going
It's
too.
different sterile.
Yeah, it's like
Sterile.
it's like
It's a
Sterile?
different kind of sterile.
laboratory
Yeah,
sterile
like,
type. shit.
That's
auto-
not that
autoclave
different. We can
type of
plastic
shit.
the room we're sitting in to be
No.
with medical grade and put on them booties and the
Yeah,
things.
but it won't be cheap.
Only need a small room.
You ever see that shit on YouTube? This guy took a fucking chicken egg and fucking
Because the best things around.
made an oculus or a moculus or whatever he calls it.
What's a moculus?
It's like this little fucking creature he's got in a jar that he put sperm inside of a fucking chicken egg, and this fucking crazy little creature was hatched.
No.
Like Jurassic Park.
No, yeah.
Kinda like that,
Almost,
but with a chicken egg?
With a chicken egg.
No shit.
And it's just a little tiny. It looks like a little fucking.
He's playing Doctor Who with chickens.
He's Russian, so who knows what he's doing.
That's not.
It's just it looks like this little fucking upward, like sea creature. Just like, kind of hourglass shaped, and then at the top it's got a concave mouth like thing with a little red thing that sticks out.
What?
And he actually feeds it like little pieces of meat, like little tiny pieces of meat.
This is the problem with.
And every once in a while, the thing squirts out some shit out of its opening on the top.
How big is this thing?
It's like this big.
What the fuck?
He said he's done it a few times, and one of them like spit that shit at him, and he called it poison. It didn't do it. Like it gave him like a little tiny bit of a like irritation, not like nothing crazy on his skin, but
maybe acidy.
Well, he checked the pH. He put some of it. He fucking waited for the thing to do it, and he took some of the water, pH'd it, and I think it was like at 8.7 or something. It looked like, and so he's like, try it on plant. So he tries it on a little house plant in a pot, and within hours the thing was dead.
Oh shit. So that's the problem. I think I see
But
something
I think
with like
he
Hollywood
thinks
and like fantasy.
Excretes like poop.
That
It's
what
fucking
Hollywood.
weird.
'Cause,
Look
like,
it up.
we end up
You'd be like, what the fuck?
we end up seeing things on like somebody did, thought up and put in a movie like cell phones, with Star Trek. How we end up inventing things that we end up seeing like
I don't
that.
know
But
if it's real.
so we end up seeing this thing in fucking
It looks pretty fucking real.
But that's the thing, they've been doing like the whole kind of like once they started seeing like Jurassic Park and potential science, they actually started trying that shit, and that's how they're potentially bringing back the mammoth.
I know. I was just gonna say that. Trying to bring back the motherfucking man.
That's what I'm saying. Like why
And
wouldn't
they're
they-
gonna do
and
it, I bet.
It didn't even bother into my mind to even start with like chicken eggs. Like that's fucking. You can end up doing your own little like.
I'm
right
sure
in your
they've
own
experimented
backyard.
on humans.
How does it work?
Who knows? There's DNA.
Mutations.
They mess
It's
with the
just
DNA
mutations.
now. They can mess with the DNA. It's
So you have to get obviously a
splicing
sterile
DNA
chicken egg
and
that's
shit.
not. The hen
Not-
can't be knocked up by a rooster, so it's got to be one of those
Right.
daily eggs that pop up.
Yeah.
You can end up this shit there fucking.
And he
you can end
did.
up,
He like gets a
you know,
needle
look,
and
I
he
had a
fucking.
bunch of alcohol swabs and shit.
Anyways, cultures.
Dude, we're only talking about like a chicken.
Yeah, cultures.
Like a chicken egg is like.
But-
I mean, you got to be in one of them things.
Yeah, I don't even
with a petri
know.
dish.
I don't even know how that shit works.
I don't either. I'm sure.
I won't even start that.
Right.
I'm not gonna
Well, all right.
guess.
So let's get back to the as far as the culture tissue. We can end up actually even building small boxes to just have a sterile thing, just specifically just for the culture.
Yeah, to hold them, but as far as
No, to grow them, because if you're gonna get them, I don't know if you can end up actually like if you're talking about storing as far in the bank, that's gonna end up you need like a design freezer for that.
Yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah, they have.
But
them.
I'm talking
They
about
have
like
them.
actually getting a culture and be able to like and just
Yeah, no, it takes a lot. I know that. It's not easy to do. I'm sure.
we're gonna have to investigate.
But how do you turn a culture into a plant?
It's possible.
Well, I know it's possible, but
I just don't know.
Do
I don't know how to do it. It's
Does,
fucking.
does
gotta
our
be-
senior
gotta be
science
some way
advisor
root.
You
would
hire
know?
you hire a fucking biotech.
It might
No,
be
no, no,
like
listen,
a
wait, dude.
graphing or some sort.
We have a senior science advisor.
I think actually in
Should we ask
California,
him? Does he know? He
in-
should know, right?
I should have took a picture of
Ask
it.
him.
In California, when you drive, well, wherever
That's right.
we
We
were
got
driving
senior
down Highway 20,
science advisors.
there's a shit ton of fucking sunflowers, and then there's a whole row of these just miles and miles and miles of these like fruit trees of some sort. But you see the stump is like pretty big, and then on top of it is a graft of another plant, because so those trees are that old that they cut because the root base and the stump was so good, they just cultured another grafted it
Yeah,
right
yeah,
on
yeah.
top because it's a better root base. You know what I mean?
I want to try
And it's
that.
fucked up. You can see the bark changes color and it fucking like comes in a little bit. It's weird.
So you
I was
can
like,
do
why
it
are
with
they
plants.
all like that?
Have you guys wanted to try to do it with plants? With a
No, you
cannabis plant?
can. You
Yeah,
can
you can
with
do it.
cannabis plants.
But
The only reason to do it though is because
count.
you would have, well, I guess that, but I mean, I would say just because you have a crazy root base, if you have an all year, you know, like if you're in California and you can put a fucking tarp up or whatever.
No. I mean, like you could end up doing just to each branch, like just one branch on like
nothing. Like you're not.
Those things are so big, you don't need to do that.
It's for experiments.
That's not like you're not gonna get a different outcome.
Apparently not.
No, you don't.
It's just gonna
because
be
apple trees. You see apple trees that end up having like 4 or 5 different ones. We're just talking about this is where people actually have to go out and actually try because it does work. Now, does it change it? So to grow like side by side?
No, when you flower them out, you can look it up. People have done it. It's not like
yeah.
People have done it.
It's just you have this one on wherever you put it, and then
what the benefit of grafting cannabis is this: you have a mother plant. So if you have a room of mothers, you can now have one plant that has 6 strains on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Taking up the space of one plant.
Right.
So you can pick your clones from 6 different plants off, but it's really just one plant. But other than that, you don't get a different type of flower. You're not going to get some crazy morphed, you're not going to be able to cross strains that way. Well, some people think like you can cross that way and you're going to get a new strain.
Yeah. I hope I wasn't coming off
No, not at all.
I know there is a lot of people that do.
Nope.
Like, no.
No, I didn't think you would.
Type.
But I know people have definitely asked me about that, thinking that. So that's why I'm just explaining, like, because I've tried it just to try it, and I didn't have any good success with it. But the main purpose would to be keeping your plant count low and having more mothers for your veg
on one plant.
On one plant.
Right.
Keeping that.
One pot, 7 fucking strains.
You could have 15. You could have 15 strains on one plant. Like you could literally go as crazy as you want, as long as you have a good success rate.
You gotta make sure you tag it. Yeah.
But yeah, and you gotta know. That's your own personal record.
Exactly.
So you gotta train those branches to be.
Yeah,
right from the beginning.
Separate them and just
tag
them, color them. Flag them up with different colors, like a blue,
even
the
still,
whole blue plant.
You should probably make
blue
sure
branches,
that
fucking blueberry haze,
mother,
whatever.
the base mother should be, one that's like pretty strong genetically, not like something that's a little finicky from time to time.
Right,
right.
To have at least like a good solid like base.
Well, yeah, because the genetics are the genetics. But what they're doing with that shit, like, because I think they cloned like a goat or something.
A goat.
I can't remember.
They
what
cloned
it was.
the goat.
They cloned a couple things already, and I don't doubt they've tried it on humans. So I saw this movie on Netflix. It's a new release movie, whatever. It's called Extinction.
Okay.
It's got remember the dude?
Don't ruin it for me, but tell me the.
Remember
premise.
the dude from
I forgot something.
who was with Mark Wahlberg and Shooter? The main other guy there, the like Spanish-looking kid. I can't remember his name.
Was that the movie where they were just in a fucking phone booth the whole movie?
No. Shooter was with Mark Wahlberg when they tried to frame him.
For the sniper thing.
Let me guess. Was it in Boston?
No.
Oh.
God, I swear, they do so many movies that like run with that theme
Every
with
fucking
like.
movie.
But that kid who was he's the main character.
Mark.
Yeah, I know.
The funky bunch. I'll never let him live it down.
I know, me either. When I see
he won't answer to that shit no more. He gets mad, yo.
I know. When I see him, I laugh.
It's too cool for
like,
fuck that. Never too cool for
It's
your
just so
beginnings.
funny.
Especially off of fucking hip hop, trying to come out on some hip hop shit, motherfucker. And then
oh, hey, I mean,
fucking underwear
you
model.
gotta try everywhere, especially being from Dorchester.
He used to stick to like B movies and fucking selling burgers.
Some of his movies are really good.
Have you guys ever tried one of his
Like
burgers?
Shooter is actually really good.
No,
movie.
what's his burgers?
I don't know.
Wahlburger?
I wouldn't do
It's actually pretty good.
Oh, I've never
You tried it?
Yeah. Not in. Oh yeah. Well, in Boston, but in
There's only a few spots, like 5 or 6, right?
There's one in the terminal in
the T.
Boston.
Now, is his burger more money?
Is it?
No, it's average.
Average price?
Yeah.
Or is it like
really good?
Is it like a Johnny Rockets or is it like a fast
It's
food?
better. It's fast. It's not fast food.
It's quick
like
food.
it's a real burger patty for sure.
Nice,
Like it's not
nice.
frozen. Like they make the burger patty right
I
then
like
and there,
that.
season it.
So it's
all
like
that
a
bullshit.
Five Guys. But a little bit better?
Oh yeah, better. Yeah, I think.
Let me
Just
use-
quality, probably.
And
Shout
they're not
out.
charging more?
In the airport, it was.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah,
it was $9.
Never mind. You can't say
It was
nothing.
$9 in the
It's like-
airport, I think.
that's
That's not that bad.
No.
That's not.
I mean, it was
Just
just
for
the
the
burger,
burger?
though.
Just the burger.
Yeah, it's just the burger.
It's airport price.
But that's airport. You know what I
Holy
mean? I'm
shit,
sure
dude.
if you go to Dorchester,
That's
the
got
one
like a
in
60%
you're probably gonna
markup.
pay, you know, maybe
Unbelievable
$15,
prices.
you know, for a large soda, badass burger, and some crazy fucking garlic fries or curly fries or some fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Do
You
they
ever
have
walk one
Mo
of these-
fries or Larry fries?
Maybe.
You ever-
Possibly.
Do you ever walk by one of these like
Curly.
dispensary machines, but it's got like technology in there?
Yeah, like,
Like
the Dre's. The
Dre's
Beats
Beats or
and
like
shit.
Beats
you
and
know, I seen a laptop.
yeah, it's like
in
a
there.
fucking
Oh yeah, I've seen iPads.
a
and stuff.
mobile. What the fuck
You're
is
like,
that?
what?
I
Best
was
Buy.
like, who the fuck?
It's like a Best Buy.
needs this shit at a fucking like you know.
Oh, I've almost bought shit like when I forgot your
Well,
headphones
yeah, you
or some
forget
shit.
something,
If
like
you're
That's
going-
different.
stuff.
The
if you're going on a
headphones-
6-hour flight and you don't
But
have
some
headphones,
people just be
They-
like, "Oh shit, I forgot my iPad. I'm just gonna buy a new one."
Yeah.
They
I
just gave me
walk up and
they
buy
gave
one.
me a
that's
pair
what
of
I would do
headphones.
because I couldn't sit on a plane and
They gave
listen
me
to
a
some
pair of headphones
asshole
on the
like
flight.
I'll tell you
fart and
what,
snore next to me.
I took fucking first. Did you see my story? I took first class on the way home.
Isn't first class nice?
The new one in JetBlue, it's fucking the pods. So it starts off two seats in one big pod. So you're sitting with somebody in another pod, but you each have your own different screen. You're just in the because you can close the door and shit. It's funny. It's only just a little sliding door.
Wank time.
They can still see you. You know what I mean? But the fucking seats, you got. I had a single, as they call it, a suite. It wasn't even that expensive. So I sit down and I'm looking around and I'm like, it took me like I had to lean over and shit to like get the window to go up. That's how much room I
Yeah,
had.
first class is dope.
I was like, what the fuck? So I look at my seat and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of buttons, and I see massage. And I'm like, I put the thing way
Nice.
back in because it goes right to a bed, and I put it on massage, and I'm laying there, and the fucking stewardess, whatever they want to be called, walks
Airline
by,
attendant.
and she's like, sir, you can't do that yet. I was like, I know, I just saw the massage, I had to try it real quick. I'm getting right back up. And, yeah. But anyway,
Nice.
I love so spoiled when
Yeah.
when you fly first class.
ugh, dude, the food was
You never want to
awesome.
go back.
No, the food was awesome.
Yes,
Everything was free. Alcohol was free. Anything I wanted was
they
free.
treat you like you're important.
Yeah, she was. I had like.
But that only matters with like long flights.
Well, this was only a 4.5 hour flight too.
That's a perfect flight for a first
Yeah.
hour first class.
Not talking about like, you're gonna get that like flying from like, you know, Providence to New York.
no, fuck all
that's-
that.
They don't even. I don't even
Like,
think they
'Cause
have.
some people get the
That's
they
like a
lose,
business
like,
class. They don't
Right,
Yeah,
they,
yeah,
they don't
yeah.
get they don't understand like you
They're
know,
only
you gotta
little
think about the
planes,
class
too.
of the plane and
Right.
the distance. You know, like it changes like that. You could end
No,
up
when
being
you're
just in the
going
front
from
of the plane,
Philly
that's
to
it.
LA, that's in one
Yeah.
flight, or
Or
Chicago to
Boston
LA,
to-
Right, right.
or fucking
Boston to San Francisco.
Boston to London. Like that was first
Oh, yeah.
class. That
Yeah.
was
Some flights give you the headphones for free. It comes like a little like
Oh, yeah.
package like that. I got like two.
I
one
just
on
love
way
the
there and back.
food.
Yeah, I had like this much of my
Fucking-
drink left because I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a fucking. They had Bombay.
It's just so
Sapphire,
disrespectful now in
fucking
economy class. They don't even give you
gin.
like a whole can.
It's-
They give you a cup. Like 90 days, like
No,
they
I
don't
got
even
a
give you a whole can.
glass.
No peanuts, no nothing.
I had a
Yeah,
fucking
real glass.
Yeah, real
Real
glass.
glass.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Real silverware.
Yeah,
Or,
I
you know,
was
real
like-
napkin.
I was like,
like
damn,
a
this
handkerchief.
is
You're
fucking
like, damn.
badass.
When
Like,
you get on the
really
plane,
badass.
they give you
So worth it. So fucking.
They give
worth
you
it.
a damp cloth.
Yep, hot as fuck.
You're
And
like, "Ah."
I'm like, and I put it right on my face because it only gets like my forehead and the tops of my cheeks, obviously, from my beard. But it still feels wicked good, and it smells good.
a quick
Isn't it funny when you
exfoliation.
sit around and you look at everyone that's sitting around you and they're all looking at you because they're like, what is
Well, I was
this? He must be
second.
famous or something.
I couldn't fucking. It's weird when they all walk by you because you get on first and you get the first fucking little.
I was
thing.
getting gawked at. People were like,
Yeah,
what
people
the
were looking at me.
fuck? I had
'cause
on,
was
I had
dressed
on
like
all,
this.
yeah, I had on all
I was
weeds.
just like this, sitting in fucking first class with this hat on.
Yep.
Chemicals kill fucking cannabis heals right on the. As soon as you turn the corner, it's like boom.
Yeah, they probably thought you was someone famous.
Yeah, the stewardess was wicked nice though.
Of course, it's first class. It's such a difference.
Well, the first time I did it, I fell. Sorry, first time I did it, I fell asleep, and when I fell asleep, when I woke up, I had slippers on and a fucking blanket over me. I was like, what the fuck? I don't remember doing that shit.
Yeah, I made sure not to fall asleep
No
when I was
shit.
flying first class.
My shit was all kicked back. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I made sure not to fall asleep because I wanted to enjoy every fucking second of that
I fell
flight.
asleep for about 40 minutes, and then I got
All
up,
those
ate,
flights.
watched a movie. Yeah, and by that time, the movie was over, and we were almost home. It was
I'm
like,
jealous. I want to fly right
this
now.
is fucking fun. If I go anywhere,
Yo, someone book us some first class flight anywhere. We'll do it. We'll smoke you up.
Something.
All right. Let me ask another.
Greece.
So, somebody else asked.
We're still doing questions. 3 hours of questions. That's what this episode is. Question us.
Question us. What they some of them. There's a few of them that like, oh, what's your favorite bud and blah blah. Some of the normal like that. But this one ends up being what is your takes on the new tariffs that are going into effect in the cannabis community, cannabis community and companies. Prices on vape carts and batteries will go up, and the cost of China glass, because they're putting on China glass too, is start to be a resurgence of American glass companies. He thinks, and is now able to realistically compete with China glass. Who can wait? What do you say? Who will now be able to compete with China glass? Because now the new tariffs, what we think about something like that. I think personally that they don't understand that they actually ended up opening up a whole bunch of companies in Arizona. So China Glass is actually technically American
Is
glass.
China Glass a company?
No, China Glass, because China can end up actually China the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the country China.
Yeah,
The
I got
country-
you. I got you.
So they're able to do like big glass like that, real, because their environmental shit stuff like that. But they actually been cracking down on it, so they actually been going to like that and just smashing shit. So the company's invested into a company in building a company in the U.S. to actually build glass things like that. So they got people just pumping out like real cheap glass on U.S. territory, but as China glass, and like pumping out still the same. So the tariffs aren't really going to affect the glass industry because they're already ahead of that, but I think it'll affect the batteries and the vape carts.
Yeah.
Well, those things, you can get them on fucking Amazon and shit for pennies by the dozen.
Not
Sure.
if there's an ability to actually stop that kind of endless supply because of the tariffs.
I guess, but
It'll be a while before.
Yeah, time will tell.
the thing is those things aren't that, they're popular, but they're not that popular.
What is this?
You know what I mean? Once someone uses
Jamba
one or
Juice.
two of them, they're like, okay, I'm only going to use this like when I travel. And that's it. And when they travel, they'll buy one or two or three and use them and fucking never, you know
vape
what
cartridges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're putting
they're
distilled.
they're probably the biggest seller in the whole market.
100%. Oh, my rest
Well-
advice for anybody out there is just get as pure distillate as possible. Fucking fuck the flavor, fuck that like that, because that introduces something else, and at least you're getting something clean. You're not getting the mix of that potential fucking popcorn, cancer type of fucking fluid that they use for vape.
Mm-hmm.
Distill it pure, no terp fucking added at all. I'm down for that.
Well, we know how to we know how to take the terps out of rosin and shit, so why wouldn't you want to add at least those?
Jamba Juice got you too?
Cause it's it's a little bit I'm
It's
still like
juicy.
this Wambi too, like
Wah, 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 wah.
Are you getting the Wawas?
yeah, right here.
That's a good thing.
Right where?
So right here.
if y'all could see that.
Shit tastes good.
It's juicy.
It is juicy.
Yeah, so it won't affect glass, but it'll affect the batteries and
Yeah, I don't know how much effect it's gonna have on glass blowers because I don't know the economics behind like rods of glass and what they come like.
Well, it'll do what it's supposed to do is try
Well,
to
that's an
open
art,
up more
so
companies in
it's-
the U.S. and actually give more jobs like that. It's true, but they're still going to be pumping out cheap product. That they think
Well,
that they're
yeah,
going to be able to
obviously,
compete
but
with
the-
China glass. They're
there's-
not going to be able to compete. They still
There's
pumping out
people
cheap
that
product.
care and there's people that don't. That's the thing. Like, there's people that just will buy a fucking $30 rig because it looks kind of cool, but then as soon as they go to clean it with some alcohol, all the color comes off, and they're like, oh my god, I'm never smoking out of this thing again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then they'll care. It's all a knowledge thing, just like with, washing and, those laws and the getting into the growing and buying seeds and shit like that. You just need to, Google is out there. I mean, honestly, Google, you can go through hundreds of things to make your own opinion and like mix different things together. That's what I do.
You have guys like me, you, and you literally putting all of our content out there for you to see. Those are all tools. You just watch and you can make your own decisions based off of and we're not the only ones doing it. There's lots of people. So you just got to put the work in.
Mm-hmm. So wild.
The content is out there.
So wild that we settled on that on Instagram as a platform. You can make phone calls on
it's
that
probably
shit, like FaceTime phone calls.
It's probably the best platform for what we do, though.
Twitter's so enough.
But that's what this whole industry is.
That's true. Who's got the fire shit?
I mean,
even the competitions, 100%.
It's
who's got the better shit.
Well, I've always said that.
Pictures
is going to be top shelf, and whoever's got it, is going to be able to dictate what they kind of want to get for it, and because again, it's all it's all hype. I was talking to my business partner the other day on the phone, and he was talking about trying to get Instagram followers and stuff like that, and I was like, listen, I said, you ever see when, I'm not going to say their name because they don't need any fucking recognition, but it's the initials of JB out in California, Southern California. Yep. When they make a post and they say, this is coming out, small, limited drop this, blah, 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 there's a line.
Yes.
The next day, out the door,
Great
and it's
brand.
gone.
They got their shit.
Exactly. I said, that's what you want. I said, it doesn't matter how many Instagram followers you have. It's the word of mouth with the, from the Instagram. Because you could have, look at me. I have, 12.5K on Instagram for a private account. I only get 300, maybe 350 likes. But I'll get, 2,000 views on a story or a.
Well, have you ever gone and changed? If you change your account to business, you can look at all the analytics of every post.
I think it changes your algorithm.
It probably might, and then I
What do you
think
mean?
because if I change mine to business and with all the hash and shit, I don't think they'll go for that. The weed,
all it does is put
telling you.
it's for you to have a contact info on your account. It doesn't. You're not registering anything.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Because I saw like Sub always gets his shit fucking deleted, or man had his shit
That's
deleted.
people.
And
No, that's
They
people
were-
because
well-
people like people. So
That's haters.
That ends up
what,
being
like flagging?
yeah.
Pretty
They'll
much.
say you've
Yeah, I
got
don't
bad
know how
content.
that
That's just
works.
haters.
That's
I
like
don't
they have a
have a clue.
campaign of people, or they have bots.
Yeah,
that just,
man, just to hate on somebody.
That's why
That
don't
you can
piss
that can
people
happen
off.
to your private account.
Yes.
I guess.
All right, so it ends up being on character. Do people actually like you? Do people
Word.
like hate you? Do you doing something great that people? We got a lot of haters, but it's sometimes like you don't because Miss Reefer's fucking shit is fucking on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
Yeah.
you should check that out, because when I'll put a post up and it might only get 1,100 likes, but it'll have 21,000 views. So not everyone like
someone saw it.
yes,
they scrolled by it.
and that all that stuff is tracked. Like they know.
Oh
like,
yeah.
So you get
Yeah.
to see what you're actually reaching.
So I think it does change because your algorithm. Because I ended up actually, I have multiple accounts because of
I just like to.
my personal one, which is not business, anything like that. I only have like about 7,000 on that one, and then I have my, Gene Traders, which is completely personal. It's all organic,
Yeah.
and that, and then I have my Terps and Trikes, which actually has a business account. It has the whole analytics and all that stuff behind it. And then, we also have the joint committee one, which I end up looking with Frank too, as far as like figuring out, who our audience is and stuff like that. It just helps with the analytics. Same thing with our websites. and even still with iTunes. It's all plugged for that one. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can get it all that shit
Plugged.
for free. But
Link
I
in bio.
find that when I end up posting stuff on each one's like different timings during their peak, I end up getting a better outreach with the Gene Traders one, which ends up being not a business one. And once I end up having a business one, once they start seeing that it actually there's a lot of like to it, you end up getting a little advertisement saying, "Oh, you should." You got like 95% really like this, like that. You should really like promote it more.
Right.
It almost feels like they might end up like just capping it at whatever the fuck just like happened with that promotion, and they won't let you go past that point until you pay that money.
I don't think so.
It sounds pretty reasonable. I just kind of broke it down right now.
Instagram's fucked.
Sounds pretty. It's this Facebook we were talking about. We're not talking about. We're talking about Facebook because they're the ones that own Instagram.
Well, I think
You're a business. You are a business.
true.
It's not a personal account.
You're right.
Yeah. So it could affect one either way, but what it can do is that if you want to open up, as far as like for consultation, you need to have some kind of contact. And
That's the benefit of it. You have a direct
and
contact.
you end up turning that personal one into your business.
I tell them to DM me. If that matters.
I would end
I
up.
do get them.
Yeah, you could just end turning that into the bond, consultation, whatever
It's
like
just-
that.
It's
Contact
screwed
contact
up
that.
because a lot of the just like
It just gives you a better idea if you're trying to keep track of your shit.
well, right. There's people though that
It opens
can't
up
see
business,
my
too.
Shit right now, they're just not old enough yet.
I hear you.
You know
It's
what I mean?
unfortunately
It's just like, I'm like,
you have
fuck.
unfortunately, like they might not see what you're doing, but they're gonna see
I know.
so much
I know
more
they
than you
do.
possibly
I
think.
know
Like
they
I don't
do.
even. There's no even.
But
like,
I don't need the parents
unless you
going.
keep your kid like in the
How did you let
countryside
my kid follow you?
doing
You
the
know what
farm
I mean?
thing. Man, they're gonna know about eating ass like faster before.
What the fuck?
Before
What the fuck?
they even know what
It's a
the
good
fuck
thing,
that's
though.
even about. Like, oh yeah, I make sure when I grow up, like, I'm telling you, man, that's like the big
It
thing.
would've
That's
been
fucking
funny.
young is like that. It's all about eating ass, yo. What, you don't eat ass? I'm like, no,
Like a-
motherfucker.
Like a bag of groceries.
It's like clearly you don't either, motherfucker.
I don't know where that happened and
Watch out
why,
for pink
but
eye.
for all of a sudden,
What happened?
like now it's about like it's all about like eating ass, yo. It's fucking wild, yo. Like,
Make
but I was like,
sure
all right,
that
you know,
thing
know
is
what?
scrubbed.
I'm not gonna kink shame.
They're so close and
You've been
connected,
asked
though. You
by a
laugh.
family member, you don't eat
Right.
ass?
A family member? No, God.
I thought you. Okay, I thought you
A
just
family
said
member?
your daughter was saying.
No. I'm saying one day
kids,
you're gonna
the
see
kids.
Oh,
the
like-
kids.
Stay
Right.
Yeah, because that's what is right. It's like hot right now. Like as far as like obviously like there's Tinder and just like that.
Yeah.
Shirts and
Yeah,
music
Tinder-
and everything.
Tinder's like kind of like all right. There's always Tinder where you really need to fuck. You can find a fuck. It's
Yeah.
simple as
Just
that. They
swipe.
will always end up growing up with that in their life. So the big hot trend like that as
If
far
I
as
ever-
ends up being about eating ass.
If I ever get ridiculed by
If chicks
someone
wanna like their
in
ass eaten,
public
you know.
about not eating ass, I'm gonna tell them I want to see you rub your fucking finger right across your asshole right now and lick it in front of me and tell me that's awesome.
Look, they're talking about
Not
like,
your own.
let's say.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be someone else's poopy. That's right.
And they'll end up saying like,
That's how
yo,
they'll
think
get me.
about your
Damn.
supermodel, famous like super celebrity person like that. Yo, oh my gosh. she's
At
so
least it's the
goddamn
first
gorgeous.
time you're
I'll
eating the
eat
corn.
that fucking ass.
Yucky.
At least it's not the
for
second
you,
time
Mark.
you're eating the corn.
Not for me.
Hey man, Jamaicans don't eat pussy.
Nah, I've never eaten ass. I just know it's really close to the other one, so it's like there's a fine line right there.
It's a huge
know.
difference.
It is, but it's not that far off. If you slip or something, come on.
I mean,
That's
I
all it
don't
takes
know.
is one little
That's a big slip, bro.
one little motorboat, and all of a sudden it's all wet, and then you just
No.
go boom, slip.
What's
Like,
going
or
on,
she
dude?
like jerks or something up,
I don't
and
know.
fucking now it's
It
you know
slipped.
it's almost
It's
like
happened.
it's almost like when you have it when you have a joint in your hand and you're just really high and you hit yourself in the forehead and go,
Except
oh, shit,
now the trend
I
is
thought
like
I
they
was
just
taller.
go straight to go really for it, not
You know
slip
what I
to
mean?
really go for it this time.
Oh,
Like
shit.
why so bashful?
The old whoopsie.
Yeah,
Is
whoops.
that- Why so bashful?
Well, you never know. She could just like do one of them fucking bucking Bronco things and jerk up and just slide that thing
Give
right
me
in
a
front of you.
mouthful?
Yeah,
Well, that's
right,
what-
right in your nose. Just bloop. Oh
See,
shit.
That's the thing. We're all married men, so we're like, what the fuck? But this is like the
I
single
know.
scene is how it is right now.
But
today.
we are all
Like,
familiar with anatomy, and I know an asshole is not to be eaten.
You know, my grandpa loved the bush. You know, like shit. It's it's like it's not natural to be bald like that. It's like yes, it is. It's cool, man. You just cleaning up the field.
I've seen some crazy things and had some almost close and crazy encounters, but nope.
Nah, I don't go down that path.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
That wasn't a
close,
question, right?
you know?
No, that wasn't a question.
That's
How
just
that-
us
how we
being
end up
stoned
being-
at
oh,
fucking
man.
10 o'clock at night.
Holy shit.
Oh shit, it's 10.
Yeah.
I guess this session's closing out.
Hit the road, Jack.
Right. Compare generation smokers. I think we just compare generation sexual preferences.
No shit.
Is that close enough?
I have a good picture. Nah, man, thank you. All you, brother.
Anybody else want a piece?
I'll take a little piece.
I mean, it looks delicious, but I'll survive. I have a great picture that I want to show you guys, but I can't find it because I have 7,000 pictures on my phone.
I think we got all the questions.
It's really funny.
What's your favorite bud? Known and underground.
That question sucks. Just kidding. Sorry, thank you for the question.
I don't know, man. I've smoked a lot of bud. It's weird because some bud I don't like as much as the hash. Isn't that weird? Like the hash from the bud, I fucking so much better than the fucking bud.
Like, give us an example.
Actually,
What was that?
actually, the space bomb. Like I can smoke it, it tastes great, but when I do smoke it in flower form, it gives me the worst heartburn.
All right. How about
That's
the-
weird.
So weird. It's like so like slimy. It's like gives me heartburn like a lime would. You know what I
Must be
mean?
the flower.
It's the terp, but when I smoke the hash, I don't do it. It's weird. So that's weird.
How about the other way
but,
around?
No, I've never had it the other way around.
The like
I like
where you like the flower, but the hash sucks.
yeah. Welcome.
Yuck. I can't. That's too much.
That's a yikes for me, dog.
Ah!
I'm coming out. I don't know about you.
Where you going, Holmes?
I like
Huh?
like the one that's really known would
It's
probably
an exhausted
be,
homie.
I had some. It was some kind of cake.
Oh my god, there's so much wedding cake mix.
Yeah, it's something. But it was. I think it might have been wedding cake,
Or gelato one too.
and it was
They
pretty
weren't too
good.
successful with gelato,
That was a quick
right? I
little.
think it's just gelato's gonna be like on its own because I'm thinking mix well.
Well, there's a pound cake. Now the London pound cake.
wedding cake, birthday cake,
It's kind of funny, but
wedding cake like spread.
Yep. That's a hype strain right now for sure. It's good stuff though. If you have the
but
real
I love
one.
hash. I love hash.
Oh, wedding cake.
Favorite strains for me.
Just hash in general.
Well, right now I'm gonna say Jamba Juice because I'm liking that for the current underground, underground strain or whatever. But
Ooh, there is that papaya. I tried that too in flower. That was pretty tasty. It was like sour fucking fruit. weird. Papaya.
I still like Skittles.
Yeah, that's a favorite too.
The
Around
real deal Skittles. That shit's fucking.
the hash is pretty good.
It's just good. So pleasant to smoke.
I've seen the good hash from it, and I've seen the not so good hash from it. And that's just people, buying quote unquote second run.
Yeah. Yep.
I know how that game goes.
Second run, aka bad wash.
Well, no, I mean, a lot of people, like, a lot of these guys, they, first wash fucking 120, first wash 90, da-da-da-da. That's all fine and nice. Like, I guess it's a good way to learn your resin, but I guess I'm kind of an asshole about it. I know the resin so well now where I can look at something and kind of be able to tell you that there's going to be more in your 90 bag than there is your 120. So if you're only running a pound of fresh frozen or 2 pounds of fresh frozen, even on the first run, if you pull a fucking patty in your 120 bag, that's, I don't know, a fucking 6 gram patty. And in your 90 bag, there's 20 to 28 gram patty. That time that it took you to pull that 120 bag for that little patty, I guess if you want it for head stacks, that's cool. Then waste the time, not waste the time, but take the time. But just take the 120 bag out, eliminate it out of the whole equation, and just let everything go in 90. Pull your 90, get everything out. It's I don't know. It's fun to know that stuff. Be able to look at, like, that's the other stuff that I said, how to look fresh frozen. Like, 'cause I can see the heads, and when I touched it, they were on my fingers.
Which one's that one?
That foxtail-y one.
Oh, the cocoa lemon.
Yeah, cocoa lemon.
It feels nice and gritty.
Yeah, it stuck out like visually, just because the way
Yeah, it's unique.
it ended up kind of like
Oh,
closing out.
I think that would wash well, probably.
There's a lot of surface area to it. It's
A lot of
just all-
surface.
Well, and it's not, the heads are nice.
What did it test at?
I didn't test it.
Oh shit!
Where's the little?
Right there.
But yeah, fucking A, guys.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm actually gonna end up,
a nice ride home.
Oh shit! This mic wasn't on the whole time.
get
I'm just
out.
Just joking.
Prank.
All right.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed I was just like enjoying growing some quick GG, just kind of like run through the garden, shit like that. But so that's my hype one, and then kind of my unknown one, I guess, is I like that kind of glue sauce, which is actually a GG Skittles kind of mix is kind of coming out, which is pretty dope. But I think people are starting to call it different things. I'm not sure which one, like, potential phenol might have got it like that, but it's I'm really like
That's how it's always gonna go.
yeah. Just as far as like I don't think I like keep it for like like that, but I think it's gonna be something pretty dope. But it's still another just GG mix. It's just like
It's just a bona fide winner.
It's just so many
GG4.
like,
The GG is just.
It's cheating.
Jeez, it's just a gas that it's weird.
If you grow it, it's cheating.
So
I
something
grow it.
too, like depending on the regions
Isn't
too.
it cheating?
It's awesome.
Depending on the region too is on like the flavor, like what certain people like in Puerto Rico. You end up having a little bit more of a they like the sweeter, the like softer stuff like that, more lavender like that, and they're not too much of the gas.
Yeah.
You East Coast, we love the gas.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
love the cam.
We've
We
been loving
love
gas
the
since like
gas.
sour diesel.
Yeah, and out
like,
west
and,
they
like,
love the Kush.
We
we
don't
love the
need
Kush
us.
out west, so it's so it's treated. It all depends, I guess, where you grow, or cultivate, or caregive. Cover all bases.
No, it's all grower preference. That's what it is.
So grow preference.
You're getting what the grower grows.
Yeah. That's it. That's a good answer to it.
But yeah,
You guys want to say anything? You guys want to cover
Anything.
Say anything at all? Shout outs.
thanks everybody.
Thanks everybody.
I'm pretty stoned and rolling a blunt for the ride home. Peace out.
Hot sauce.
What you rolling with? What's that?
It's like a East Coast sour diesel something mix. I forgot what it's called. My buddy gave me some to try out, so I brought it to smoke and try. It's actually not bad.
Why do you scissor rather than grind?
That's a great question. Because grinders suck.
Hold on, I'm speaking to the mic though.
No.
Yes,
I want
man.
it on the side.
I know it looks like
I
a
only
robot
want
dick,
certain people
but
near me.
I want you to speak into it.
Sorry.
Speak into the mic.
Only certain
Why do you
people.
scissor rather than
Scissor.
scissor than grind?
Grinders
Bond?
suck. They just, if you think about putting those resin heads through thousands of turns of fucking all them little things and just crush them all up all over the place.
That's true.
I just don't like it. I'd rather like a couple little snips through a bud, and I got perfect little chunks that roll up so perfect, and I can just go around the fucking little nibbly nobble stem that's there.
That's true.
Sometimes I just cut it up and just fucking, I don't care about the stem if it's that small. I'll just chop it and throw
Well,
it.
you are running on a leaf, on a backwood. See, that doesn't work well with papers.
No, that's definitely a key factor for sure. But I do roll joints with just chopping it with scissors.
But this shit doesn't burn well.
Yeah, it does.
It's got all these like spacings. That's why you grind it.
Nah, you gotta know how to roll it, man. It's like years of practice.
I don't know, man. What do you feel about the Fanta leaves? The new Fanta
I'm
leaf.
fucking,
The Fanta leaf wave.
I'm fire rolling with those things.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the same thing as this. You
Same thing, but not tobacco. Fanta leaf.
No, it's tobacco leaf.
Not tobacco leaf.
Yes, it is.
No,
It's
it
all
isn't.
different kinds of tobacco. There's fucking. They got soft, mild, fucking hardcore, fucking. Then you can buy the filler to actually fucking roll your own cigars with it instead of putting weed in it. But no one ever does that. They just buy the leaf. It's a big fucking.
Big old Fanta leaf.
Yeah, it's tobacco. Some strain of tobacco.
Some strain of tobacco. Sure, it's tobacco. It's like tobacco.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
It's
tobacco.
tobacco.
Are you whistling?
What?
Yeah, just answer. Do you know?
You can talk, man.
No, it's tobacco.
All right, it's tobacco. Alright. It's a
Yeah, you
type of
cut 'em
tobacco.
the same
But
way.
why that
Fine.
tobacco? I guess is the question. Why is this new big wolf like, oh, I want some Fanta leaf? Like,
Well, a lot of them are dark too.
Yeah, you can get
okay.
dark.
Dark Fanta
Yeah,
leaves.
you-
The different types of shit.
Like when I buy these.
We could ask that tobacco dude.
There you
when I
go.
buy
Connecticut
these
guy,
and I
when we
open
end up
them, I
actually
pull
getting
them
into
all
that
out,
shit,
I
it'll
look
be
for the
dope.
darkest ones and I use those
What a
first.
question.
I call them Wesley's.
Wesley's.
And
Jesus Christ.
and then the lighter
You're gonna get
ones.
taxed for that,
The lighter
man.
ones.
That was a good response.
the lighter
Fucking
ones.
bar,
I call
goddamn it.
Stallones.
Wow. Hey.
Guy.
What was that movie where they had all the different heroes come together?
Justice League.
Justice.
Is it Justice League?
Yeah.
Yo, so listen to this. Excuse me.
Yeah,
My
your
daughter,
fucking-
my
oh.
daughter asked me
Yeah,
this question,
never
right? Why is that if we were watching Justice League, right? That movie where Batman,
Like
Superman, Wonder
No,
Woman,
that's not what I'm talking about.
Aquaman. So Aquaman and Flash and another dude. I keep forgetting his name. And she asked me, "Where's Iron Man and Spider-Man and all those other characters?" I was like, "Well, that's the Marvel's comics, and this is the DC comics." It's like, "Yeah, but aren't they all on the same planet?" I'm like, "No, it's a different universe." And I got and I was like, because obviously we know that there's it's like, no, there's a difference. It's like, but what is the difference? Like, she's 14, and
Yeah.
she watches she's a new like age, like watching of the like Star Wars and being all nerdy and stuff like that, shit like that. So she asked me that today. I was like, and for some reason it hit like a sore spot about like there's a difference. It's like, yeah, but it's like, no. It's like, but why can't they help out? It's like, that's stupid. I was like,
Shut up,
You
you
got all
stupid.
geeky with her back.
It's like you don't understand. It's like, no, all right. So the reason is that look, there's just simply two comic book companies. They're different, and that's why they're just
Listen,
different
Stan
universes.
Lee was the best.
Even
Disney
with, like,
now.
science, they talk about multiverses and stuff like that,
no.
different realms within like
Yeah,
our
but-
own, like that, blah blah blah. So even with our own science, we start thinking about that shit 'cause
DC,
we've seen it, like,
I like Batman and shit. It was cool. I watched Superman when I was young, and on TV, like the old school Superman.
So
shit.
which one did you? So the other one is the Avengers with Iron Man, Thor, Hulk.
Yeah.
I was talking about the movie with. Is it Trump? No, is it Trump?
no, my God, that's not even superhero.
Well.
No. It was like Schwarzenegger, Stallone.
Oh no, that's
no, that's
It was like a bunch of retired dudes that all got together.
Yeah, that's
Epic Kill
like
or
no.
Expendables.
Expendables.
That's what I'm talking
Expendables
about.
1, 2,
That's what you
and
should
3.
get Wesley Snipes in there.
I don't know
Yeah.
which one. Oh wow.
Well, it's just funny because that's what we do out west. Whenever we buy a pack, we open it up right away and you pull them all out and you try and find the darkest ones because they burn the best. That's like when I buy frontas or have bought them, I get the dark leaf because they are just thicker, burn longer, tastier. Some of them are chocolatey, some of them are like coffee-ish. I had one in my mouth the other day from somebody out of
That's what she said.
and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this fucking thing tastes like a coffee bean. Like, the leaf was like coffee bean. I was like, this is ridiculously awesome. And it was like real. Somebody had it out there. They grew it themselves.
That's pretty fire. It's next wave. It's already hitting. It's gonna be like
I would love to
Every
grow
now
a little
and
bit
then.
of my own tobacco. I just don't want to get caught. It's like
What would you get?
it's like making fucking. With
what are the laws of growing tobacco?
Moonshine. It's like doing that.
For
Same thing.
reals? Tobacco?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit, that's right. I keep forgetting. ATF. I keep wondering. I'm like, ATF. Was
T?
like, why the
T,
fuck?
T, T, T.
Telephone?
I was like, why the fuck? Do they even exist? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why can't it just be like A Force, like
A-team.
The A4.
you know, like it's just like alcohol,
Space Force?
tobacco. You don't just gonna add cannabis to that one, so it'll be calf. We should put it in the beginning. Cannabis, ATF, yeah, catf.
Cat.
Yeah.
Cat F.
That makes sense. Where we end up going,
Or
right? Rather than DEA.
FACT.
Fact.
Facts. Oh shit! Kaboom! Wow.
You
They'll never
dropped
do
the
it.
Fucking
You
nuke,
think they'll do
bro.
it? They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. 'Cause they added explosives.
Erase it.
Oh my god.
It's funny because that's what a lot of bloggers do when they try when they're watching their footage back. That's like when they want to delete something in real IRL, they fucking clap it, delete that. So when they're seeing it, they're like, "Oh shit, okay." I got
It shows the reason because on voice thing it ends up showing it as a spike, so it makes it easier to spot from a distance, especially when you're doing like long ones and shit. Yeah. That's why I've been doing that shit. Yeah.
That's what I would
So
do.
Frank knows like, all right, you motherfuckers like, you getting into stupid shit. Oh, man.
All right, everybody.
All right, 2 hours
end
into
this
it, Bond's trying to fart into the mic.
Chitty bang bang.
It's like Step Brothers. I'm gonna put my nuts all over your drum set.
Yeah.
It's like, well, my drum set's a guy, so you be gay. It's like, yo, you guys are so fucking. Cops doesn't start till 4.
I'm gonna bounce my nuts all over your snare.
Oh my god. All right. So that has been another session with us, the Joint Committee. Thanks, guys, for reals.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you again soon.
Yes.
It's a beautiful day.
End of session. The Joint Committee thanks you for listening.